And one. What is up, everyone? Today's a beautiful day. It is Mother's Day. Shout out to all the beautiful mothers out there.
Yep.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody and those celebrating. We hope that you all had a great day. We are here on a special Mother's Day episode. Yeah, guys. Attack to Talk. We're here. Continuing with the story. We'll be focusing on season 3, episode 7, starting episode 7. This episode's name is A Wish, and this will be part 1 of our episode breakdown and discussion. Yep, that's right, guys.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's going to be listening at a later time, I want to say Happy Mother's Day and hope that you guys had a great Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And I hope that your mothers, all the beautiful mothers out there, had
a great weekend.
A great weekend. Yes, exactly. And for anybody that joins us on this beautiful Mother's Day, thank you. We appreciate you for taking the time out of this special day. Mm-hmm. And we're ready to continue, guys. Continue with the story. And we got TikTok guru Kyron joining us. Kyron.
Kyron.
We would love to go ahead and hear from you, Kyron, how your weekend has been. Hopefully it's been a really good one, a chill one, a nice one spent with maybe some family. You never know with Mother's Day. People like to spend time with family on Mother's Day, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, hopefully it's been well, my friend. Also, too, while we have you joining us, so about last week's episode and you taking that initiative to go ahead and really, again, grow the podcast, and we appreciate everything, my friend. And you reached out to somebody who wanted to go ahead and potentially play some music, right? Mm-hmm. So me and Lexi have been thinking about it throughout the week, and we would love to go ahead and have a more thorough conversation with you. So maybe we can schedule something. Maybe we can plan something.
Yeah.
Through like Zoom or whatever.
Yeah, like a little chat or
a little Zoom call, just so we can go ahead and kind of, so me and Lexi can get a better understanding, and we can talk, and even just kind of like we can let you know, Kyron, about like some maybe potential concerns that we have as well. But we want to thank you again so much for the awesome news last week that you gave us, and we've been thinking about it throughout the week. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, if we can kind of have a good talk it over, conversation have a good with idea. You, then you know, and kind of just go from there.
Want to go?
But yeah, he said rage quit my job. Oh shit! Alrighty, this is gonna be a special episode, guys, because we have Lexi is dog sitting. Clip that, guys. Clip it.
I can put her out if you want.
You're probably gonna have to. Yeah, she is destroying the room here.
All right, come here.
Yeah. Lexi is dog sitting. We have a dog in here, and this dog is very, very new to this area.
She's got short little legs.
And yeah. So this is Toffee. Toffee, you're gonna have to go.
I want to say bye to Toffee.
Bye, Toffee. Is everything good, guys? Is everything good there? Hopefully you guys can still hear us and everything. She literally just dropped the entire mixer. Entire audio system we have here. Okay. And we are, what, 5 minutes into the podcast? So, yeah. We're hoping that things would go well. But yeah.
To our viewers, they can still hear us.
Okay, hopefully everything's all good, guys. It looks like we're good on this end. But
great. It's super eventful, guys.
But yeah.
Sorry about that. Gee.
But rage quit my job. Love to hear it, man. Hey. You know what? I'm a full believer that if you're doing something, man, and you're just having a difficult time, just kind of like it's something that you don't enjoy doing, you know, don't feel obligated or don't feel like you're stuck, because the thing is, here's the truth, guys. Life is too short. That's what it is. Life is too short to just kind of just settle and do things that you're not enjoying, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean to obviously quit your job and do nothing. I know Kyron is a very hardworking individual, as we've seen from his creative mind. He's doing, his photography stuff. I'm sure he's a hard worker at work, and who knows the situation. I'm not going to ask, but we just want to wish you nothing but the best, of course, Kyron, and everything going forward. If this is true that you did rage quit your job. Mm-hmm.
But good job, Kyron. Good job.
But nonetheless, guys, we all know life is too short, and let's just do the things that we enjoy doing, which is why we do this every weekend. You know, because we love doing this with you guys. And speaking of doing it with you guys, we want to go ahead and welcome, of course, our friends. We have Heise. Welcome back, Heise.
Welcome back, Heise.
What is up?
Hello.
We love to have you back. And yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. And of course, returning. I want to say returning, right? Because we haven't really talked to SB in a while.
Really heard of
SB, what is up?
Hey, SB.
Welcome back, SB. We missed
you.
We hope that
it's
you
cool
are.
to see you back in chat. Hello. And Eddie.
Oh, and Eddie as well. The friends are here. We love it, guys. We love it. And again, just talking about doing things that we love, and we love talking AOT with all of you guys. And yeah, so awesome. SB says chat wasn't working last week for I'm sorry to hear that, but
okay. So you were with us last week.
So thankful though that you were with us last week.
Way to stay loyal.
But we've missed you, SB. We love it whenever you join us in chat. We love it whenever any of our friends join us in chat, and make sure we get the chats going, guys. If you guys have any questions at all during the podcast, do not be afraid to go ahead and ask away. That's what it is. We love talking about some AOT stuff. We had some really, really cool questions and discussions that Heise asked us. So we love diving into characters that we enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And SB says, let's see that new tattoo. Oh yeah, that's
I literally was gonna say, I was like, don't we have something to share?
I got some new tats. Yeah, it's cool. I can go ahead and show you guys. Probably gonna have to go ahead and step in front of Lexi's camera.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I got 3 new tats. I had to get my guy Tomura Shigaraki, my guy from My Hero. He is...
That's a really clean, cool
right
tattoo.
Here, I'll step in closer for you guys to see, but just kind of give you an idea of where the tats are location-wise. So we have Tomura Shigaraki. We got myself a nice little Captain Levi tribute tat. Right here.
Of course.
And then right here we have the key to the truth. The key that reveals all, right? And I'll go ahead and I'll get up so you guys can go ahead and see further. But SB, awesome. Thank you so much for wanting to see the tats.
Yeah, really, really great work. All 3 of those tattoos are done by Tina Tattoo on Instagram.
Yeah, shout out Tina.
Yeah, shout out to Tina. She reposted and everything. If you guys want to follow her, we follow her on the Attack to Talk podcast Instagram. Go ahead and check her out. She has awesome work. She's done like 5 of my tattoos. But yeah, there's Shigaraki.
I can clean it up right there for you guys.
You guys can see it in more detail on our shout-outs highlight on our Instagram.
Figure out the camera.
There's a Levi one. Yeah.
We'll get it, guys. We'll get it.
Get all the angles. Get all the angles. Hey, make sure you're flexing too. Make sure it looks good.
There it is.
The Levi cup hold.
And of course.
Nice and clean. Yeah. Then we have the basement key. That one is so clean. The contrast is so good in that one. Just some key.
You guys see it.
Just some key anime features to, complete the sleeve a little bit more.
I'm pulling up.
I know.
Right now.
I was like, hey, you can't blame that one on the dog. That was you. Hello, the Asian Freak.
The Asian Freak. What is up?
Hello.
I feel like that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Hello.
Asian Freak. What is up, man?
But yeah, those are the tats. Really, really cool. Again, all done by Tina Tattoo. She's absolutely amazing. Check her out.
Tina Tattoo.
I'm actually gonna get an anime related tattoo from her in a month or so, a little over a month. So you guys will see that.
Yeah.
Guess which character I'm getting tatted? Whoa! No, you guys will see.
And it's gonna look amazing, of course. Mm-hmm. The Asian what?
The Asian Freak.
The Asian what? But yeah, guys. Wow, this is cool. But yeah, of course, you guys know we have to do the most important thing, and that is to give our disclaimer to everybody listening that our warning to everybody, because there probably will be spoiler talk in our episodes for anybody who does not want to get spoiled by any. I mean, I think we're all caught up at this point, but just a little disclaimer, of course, to go ahead and give out. But yeah. Oh, I know, dude, the fired up. Oh, yeah. We miss it, man. Shout out to Zach. Hope you're well. Heisey said, I always thought of the centipede Kaneki as that goes through his ear as a tattoo. Ooh. One of the many forms of Kaneki.
Yeah, I've thought about that too, actually. I was like, okay, if I ever got like an insect other than obviously a butterfly tattooed on me, it would probably be the centipede, and it would be Tokyo Ghoul like tied in somehow.
I need to get a Tokyo Ghoul tat. I need to. The ones that I have to go ahead and continue thinking about potential tattoo ideas, but definitely Tokyo Ghoul related and definitely One Piece related. Those are two that I need to go ahead and get at some point in the near future, for sure. All right.
Oh.
Okay, guys. So you guys know the drill. We, of course, have to get into the poll question and the Q&A responses because I feel like we got our a really, really interesting poll question. And D-Loading, what's up?
Hello,
Sounds pretty cool.
D-Loading.
Cool is nice. Yeah, shout out to D-Loading.
Well, we have like a full house.
Love it. Shout out. Yeah, but I'm excited to go ahead and get into discussions, guys, about the poll question as well as our question that we asked for the Q&A. I feel like I'm going to try to do the best I can with the poll to maybe sway you guys on a potential option, right? Because I think on Instagram, Kyron actually, we'll get into your
we
get into your chat as well, your messages, and Kyron actually messaged something that's pretty interesting. It got me thinking, like, you know what? Hey, maybe this person's not so bad. We'll see. We'll talk about it when we get into that part. But then without further ado, of course, want to go ahead and throw it to Lex so that Lexi can go ahead and tell us the questions to either one, and yeah. So Lexi, whenever you're ready, but I first want to see Heisa says, I'd get a tattoo to hide if anything. I'd get a tattoo of
Hide.
Of Hide. Oh,
Get a tattoo
anything
of
with
Hide.
his face
If
half
anything,
off.
his face half off. Ooh, okay. So
damn.
like him and when we get to see Hide in later seasons, that'd be really cool. Okay.
Yeah, deloading.
Deloading Lakers.
Deloading Lakers in 6. I love it. Deloading have been pretty busy with something, but finally able to show some love to you all and listen to this podcast. Thank you so much, man. Again, any of you
we
that
appreciate it. No,
any
don't
of
feel
you
pressured.
that take the time out of all of your busy lives, man, it just means the world to us, and we're so happy that whenever you guys join us. I mean, again, even if you guys support us just by listening at a later time, I mean, it just, man, it's amazing, and we love you all so much.
It's probably pretty late for some of you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because we are starting later.
We started at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
And some of you guys are not in Pacific Standard Time.
No, yeah, it's pretty late for you guys. Some of you it's 10:30, some of you it's 9:30, and
8:30.
yeah, Kyra 9:43. Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
whew. But I will say, guys, that depending on the discussions that we get into, this one is probably not going to be one of our longest episodes. I know that we usually go like 2.5, sometimes even 3 hours. But don't expect us to be talking for 3 hours. So if you guys want to go ahead and stay up late with us, and this is a shorter episode, we kind of stopped it at a good point. And yeah, so it's going to be fun, guys. So thank you, and hopefully you guys stick around. And Lexi, I want to go ahead and now throw it to you. Whichever one you want to start with.
I'm going to start off with the poll. Last week, we asked you guys, which Ackerman would you want as your mentor?
Yeah, think about it.
Because last episode, we got a lot of Ackerman lore going on.
A lot of it.
So the options are Levi Ackerman, Mikasa Ackerman, or Kenny Ackerman.
Okay, interesting.
This one's interesting because it's not like, who do you want to be your friend? Who do you want to hang out with? It's who do you want as your mentor?
Who do you want as your mentor?
So,
it's important.
Interesting. So again, starting in normal fashion from least voted to most voted, I'm pretty surprised about this one. I'm pretty surprised about the results.
Are you?
Because we have at the lowest amount of votes at 12%, Kenny Ackerman.
Okay, Kenny Ackerman. So that surprises you?
Mm-hmm. That does surprise me.
All right. I don't think it surprises a lot of you. Obviously, from our results we got here, right? I mean, you guys are going with a different direction here.
Yeah.
Right?
And then we have 29%.
For Kenny. Okay, I like it how you say.
Mikasa.
Maybe we're going to be in the same
Ackerman.
Same wavelength here. So what was the percentage for Mikasa? 29%. So we got 12% and we got 29%, which means,
Which means top voted at 59% is Levi Ackerman.
Okay. All right. Very, very interesting. So let's start from our top vote getter in Levi. Now, why do we think Levi was the top vote getter? Why?
Obviously, he's Levi Ackerman. I feel like he doesn't really need an introduction. He's just him. He's just that guy, you know?
He's that guy.
He's super skillful, and given he has learned a lot of things that he's known from growing up from Kenny. Except we saw how their morals kind of split up in later years.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, Kyron's right though. He says people who get close to Levi die.
Yeah.
Which is
so
true.
That's the thing. I want us to think about it, okay? Because I want to hear Heise, and that's how you pronounce it, Kyron, is Heise, right? Mm-hmm. Heise voted for
Heise.
for Kenny. And I would love to hear why. If you can explain, Heise, we'd appreciate that. And for anybody who voted, please tell me why you voted the way you did.
Yeah,
we'd love to go ahead and talk about it, right? Because Kyron does bring up a good point, and that's a point that I was definitely thinking about, right? I'm like, okay, if I want to get mentored by Levi, I'm like, that is a great mentor to have. Mm-hmm. Of course, right? Because like Lexi said, he's that guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a badass. And you know that when it comes to whatever it is that he's mentoring me on, he's going to be efficient with it, right? There's no cutting corners. There's no easy way. It's just efficiency, right? Get the job done. And it's not going to be a half-ass effort, mm-hmm. right? However, if, for example, I know deloading is alluding to war, mm-hmm. right? That deloading said that I'd rather die alongside him. That's kind of implying that you know that there's a chance. I mean, obviously, there's a chance that anybody in war is going to go ahead and die when it comes to AOT. I mean, that's just a given, right? But from what we've seen throughout the entire anime.
Close to Levi.
But like Kyron said, people who get close to Levi, they just tend to die. And I just can't help but ignore that specific detail, which kind of maybe keeps me a little distant from potentially choosing, Levi as my mentor. However, I will admit, deloading, like you just mentioned, and actually I think Dad has mentioned it as well, where Dad said that he would gladly take a warrior's death fighting alongside Captain Levi. Yeah. And again, there's something different about that mindset. That is so like valiant. And like that kind of mindset, that person, I'm convinced Dad will make a great scout. Yeah,
me too. I'm like, all right.
With that mindset, saying I would gladly die alongside Captain Levi. That is like that's some serious stuff right there, right?
He's got the drive.
Yeah. But again, that's an important detail, is that we've seen people get close to Levi, they die. But let's talk about Mikasa. Okay. Right. Now Mikasa was the second vote getter with 29%. Okay. I do like this though. Heise says, we don't know much about Kenny other than he's Levi's uncle and that he has a group of followers like Aaron. I'd like to get to know more about him. And yes, you know what? Actually, it's something we've talked about in early podcast episodes is potential spin-off ideas. A spin-off, and like, how awesome would it be to go ahead and dive into certain like interesting characters, like history, right? We get a glimpse of it with last week's episode, like Heise you mentioned. And it's just, you want to learn more of why Kenny is the way he is.
Yeah,
what made Kenny become Kenny?
So successful for so long, because he's not young at this point in the anime.
Yeah. Oh no, he's not young at all. He's very calloused. He's very just, and he
very much has people. What am I trying to say? Like he's almost like an urban legend to people. Yeah. Like that's Kenny the Ripper. He's got a name to him.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll, of course, talk more about Kenny. But now, again, with Mikasa, I mean, Mikasa, again, she is an absolute badass of a character as well. I mean, she is efficient as well.
I think some people voted for her because they're simps, I
mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, can you imagine being able to go ahead and work alongside somebody like Mikasa, man, and have that person be your mentor? I mean, who wouldn't take her up on that offer? Yeah. You're going to tell me if Mikasa points you out specifically and says she wants to mentor you, you're going to deny her?
No, not at all. I think I would be more surprised that she's paying attention to someone other than Aaron.
True.
I'd be like, oh my gosh.
But let's say for the fact here that these specific characters, these three, aren't the ones picking. It's more like we're the ones working to try to become mentored by them, right? That's our preferred choice, right? And I say, I love it, man. I love the way you're thinking. I love it, because that's exactly what I was going to go ahead and mention right now, is that we know how emotional Mikasa can get when things involve Aaron. Yes. Okay? If I am her mentee and I'm the one who I'm like, okay, and let's say, again, we're talking about high stakes here. we're talking about maybe just war or whatever, and then if something is happening to Eren, I know my life means diddly squat.
Yeah,
You know, like,
and it's like, oh well, all this loyalty, because obviously like mentor-mentee relationship in this context is like life or death. Like you have to be of utmost loyalty, like so trusting. Like we saw the Levi squad with Levi when they had no idea what was going on in the forest of giant trees. Like you need to be at that level of trusting. But then if Eren gets kidnapped somewhere and I'm a mentee and I'm trapped somewhere, I think I know who Mikasa is going to go after first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I know who she's going to save first. So,
and I mean, again, that all stems from just growing up and having Eren being such a significant part of her life. Really, the reason why she is still alive, right?
And we don't know if that's that the clan, whatever, the Ackerman gene or whatever. What is the tattoo on her wrist and everything?
So that involves with her Eastern roots, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily an Ackerman
Not
thing.
Ackerman, yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that has anything to do with. It's not confirmed or denied if what Eren was saying about like, oh yeah, like I'm the person that you are like designed to protect or whatever, and like that's why you get headaches and da 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 da. And it's like we don't know if he was actually just manipulating her or if it's true or we don't know.
I mean, Eren does seem to know all. I mean, think about how powerful he is at this point. I mean, I know that
living in his world.
He might just be spitting knowledge that is accurate and hurtful, but again, the truth hurts, right?
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, I'm saying this again when it comes to like Mikasa only caring for Eren. I mean, let's face it, like Levi is not going to be the most caring person. You know, I mean, again, talk about efficiency, but also we know that he does care about his group. But I mean, he's not going to go in and essentially, I don't think he's going to go out of his way to put himself in a really bad situation just to try to save whoever, the mentee is. I mean, I know that you can argue that because we have seen the more softer side of Levi, especially recently, right?
Yeah.
But
big ol' softy.
But I mean, again, it's you just can't say. But then, with Kenny, I can't say that Kenny's going to go ahead and,
Yeah, Kenny, I think
emotionally care for me because, I mean, that's just not the Kenny that we see.
Yeah, I think that Kenny sees his mentees more as tools that are replaceable.
Yeah.
Like, can be replaced. Obviously, a lot of hard work and time, but I don't think he sees them as, like, an irreplaceable, like, relationship kind of bond. I think it's like you're like a tool for war use.
Okay.
I think that's how Kenny sees.
I definitely see that.
Mentees.
Okay. And do we have anything else we want to say more about Mikasa? Because in terms of what Mikasa, why she would be obviously a great mentor, other than the fact that she would, she's just, again, I mean, she's a very strong warrior, and she would be able to go ahead and teach me amazing things.
Who was it that DM'd us Mommy Mikasa? Someone DM'd us, I'm voting for Mommy Mikasa.
I don't know. We can go ahead and look at.
Heisei has some insight. He says, I've been thinking about the Ackerman clan. Reminds me of the Uchiha clan being all powerful, and there might have been many Ackerman in the clan like the Uchiha until mostly all were killed by Itachi. The Ackerman clan just interests me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think what's so interesting about this clan is the fact that we know very little.
Yeah.
Right? And whenever you know very little about something that is so important and so crucial, right?
Yeah.
These characters, the Ackermans, like we were introduced to them and we see how powerful they are. I mean, shoot, we never know. I mean, Mikasa's father could have been the most powerful of them all. We just got robbed of him because he died so early. No, he seemed like the sweetest guy.
He died in like the first 30 seconds that we meet him.
But yeah, it's because we know essentially what we're kind of supposed to know.
Yeah.
But we don't know all the details, and so it leaves us in our minds like
that's how
wondering and
Isayama be gatekeeping all the answers.
Yeah. But I do want to talk about Kenny because
Kenny is surprised. I'm surprised he got voted so low.
I know I said that you voted for Kenny.
I understand why you wouldn't necessarily want him as your mentor.
Yeah, because he's Kenny the Ripper.
But also he's Kenny the Ripper.
And here's my thing, guys. This is my argument.
The Asian Freak says, I bet he got all the secrets to survival.
I love it. I was going to go ahead and touch on that because we've seen that, whether you want to refer to Kenny as, Levi's mentor, I mean, essentially he is, because, I mean, he is the one who taught Levi to survive. Yeah. And I just want to say, Levi turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Levi turned out like he's
given it wasn't all Kenny, but Kenny kind of, guided him through that path of like survival, and then Levi was able to really latch onto that, being Levi. So
yeah, I mean,
he did his thing.
I think with Kenny, I mean, we've seen with the abilities, right? The training and everything that have helped, like you said, helped create and helped Levi become the warrior that he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want to say, I mean, these elites, which we're going to talk about, I mean, yeah, we're not going to go ahead and see them in their best, the best light in this episode, but these elites, man, we can only imagine that Kenny is the one who kind of trained them, and they're legit, they're very skilled, and these I think were just kind of like MP rejects, like they trained to go ahead and become MPs, they trained to become interior officers, and now they're the elites. And we don't get like the training arc of these elites going and getting personally trained by Kenny himself, but I mean, Kenny is the one who is leading this group, these elites.
Maybe we'll see it in the spin-off.
In the spin-off,
I would love to see a Kenny spin-off. That'd be so cool.
But I mean, again, this is just another example in my eyes that, I mean, these elites, they're holding their own against these very well-trained scouts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of wonder if Kenny was ever loyal to anyone.
Yeah. Who is Kenny's mentor?
That's the thing. I mean, I don't know if Kenny ever really. That's why. Kenny is such a good character to learn more about it and just kind of have like some sort of weird little spin-off, even just a little spin-off miniseries of just learning about Kenny
Even just
Ackerman.
Like one OVA, like just one
something. Give us a little
OVA.
bit. Give us something.
Just a taste.
There's certain characters you just want to go ahead and learn more about. I mean, obviously we talked about Frida as well. Like Frida's another character that where it's like, man, you would just kind of learn and appreciate more about her as a character. And of course, man, I mean, give me any more content about Aaron Kruger, because I want to go ahead and see like some more about Aaron Kruger, because you're just going to show up.
He is the dude that dropped the bomb.
You're going to show up,
change the entire story,
and just change
everything, and then just leave.
And then just leave,
and then that's it.
No, I want more.
Yeah. Like, what the heck?
But man, again, I just thinking about it more kind of logically, right? And then I'm like, man, Kenny, in the few examples that we have, right, these elites and Levi, I mean, man, they're all very formidable and they're all legit. And if I can even acquire any of that kind of even just tenacious mindset, right, any of that kind of, man, having that ability and the strength to just hold my own against, the freaking Survey Corps, like the scouts, right? Because we know that they're so well trained as well. Some of them,
yes.
But they're supposed to be so well trained. I just can't help but think that maybe Kenny would be a really good mentor to have. Like, talk about tough love. Maybe it's not love at all, but I mean, again, it's just going to be nothing but really, again, crucial training that'll help me get to that level. And plus, you get to go ahead and see the fun little antics of Kenny and all that, because we see Kenny likes to be very playful as well. He likes to bust your chops a little bit and stuff, and I think that would be kind of interesting, because we know that at least with Mikasa and Levi, that they'd be very, very, very serious, especially Levi. And I know that a lot of his training for Levi would involve cleaning, and I have to admit, I don't enjoy extensive cleaning. Fine detail, like, I'm done, and this dude's gonna show up over and freaking check underneath my desk and be like, see,
I know
there's still dust there.
Yeah.
Clean it again,
You're like, under the desk.
I like it. Says Kenny has a mentor would be like having a mob boss for a mentor.
True. It's that tough love. It's not. He is not a softie by any means.
I do like that analogy, because we know with mob bosses is that, if you're in their circle, man, they you're like family.
Yeah. But it's also like good to be on their good side.
Great point.
It's good to keep those dangerous people close.
Yeah.
So like having Kenny as a mentor, you have all those dangerous people close to you.
Yeah.
It's good to not be on the opposing end of a mob boss or Kenny the Ripper.
Yeah, you don't want to be on their bad side.
But it's also good to not be on Levi or Mikasa's bad side. The thing is these Ackermans, they're all super skilled. So that's what makes it even more difficult.
And again,
no matter who you have as a mentor, you're going to do well.
Yeah, if these are your options of having as a mentor,
you're going to be pretty good. You're going to be a strong soldier.
Right? So now I kind of want to ask you all too, joining us, throw in your potential options on who you think would be the absolute worst mentor to have.
Keith Sadis.
You think so, Sadis?
No, the worst
Okay.
mentor, it probably would be like Rod Rice or something.
Okay, worst mentor. And this mentor obviously has to be somebody who has the experience. I can't just throw in like some character like, oh, I think Daz would be the worst mentor because Daz is not mentoring anybody.
We haven't,
You know? Like, think of a character that would have a potential opportunity to go ahead and mentor, you know, somebody. Kyron says Irwin. Yeah, Irwin.
Yeah, worst mentor.
Irwin would be the worst.
But it's kind of like interesting because you could say
I would
like,
just be a pawn in Irvin's big plan.
Exactly.
I'll just like, you know.
Do it happily. If he's, long as he just keeps giving me those speeches, I would be motivated.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I know we've talked about it, but man, this guy would probably go ahead and give me some sort of motivating speech that would make me want to do something that would risk my life.
He could convince me to run into a brick wall.
Ooh, SB says Aaron. Interesting.
It's pretty interesting thinking like worst mentor because you could say Annie's dad was a pretty freaking bad mentor, but we saw how strong Annie is now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he, you know, treated her like a weapon, but damn, she does act like one now.
Yeah, Annie is a legit character. And Annie was a character that I've been wanting to see for the longest time. So, you know, seeing Annie return, you know, got me excited. But now again, we see Annie in this kind of mindset where, I mean, these characters are so far from the character that they are so early in the story, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when you have like these antagonists early in the anime, right? To where we see them and they're this imposing force to now where we currently see them in the story, season 4, we get to the final, you know, the essentially the end of the story. Annie, you know, Rhina,
yeah.
right?
You
like,
get to see
they're
all,
not
these,
the
all
same.
these warriors that have obviously been scarred.
Yeah. And then the character that we see early on, where they're essentially kind of like, you know, they're very hot-headed, whatever. Somebody like Aaron, where now in the story, man, they're such a freaking force to be reckoned with. And it's like, man, it's like...
that tough love really, really hardens you.
Yeah.
And it just matters on... it just depends on whether you're willing to go through that tough love. Like Heisa says, Flock would be the worst mentor because Heisa is a soft person and he probably couldn't handle the pressure and would cry.
Yeah.
I like same
that.
thing with like the pressure would really get to me with like all of these like these are all such like major forces to be reckoned with, and it's such like a tough love kind of thing that like, I mean, no matter what, you're gonna come out skilled, you're gonna come out hardened and experienced, but it may not be the most blissful journey. You know, it may not be the most relaxing, you know, little spa day.
I'm trying to think too, like who I think would be potentially one of like the worst mentors and stuff.
I think I'm
tricky.
going to stick with Rod Rice.
Rod Rice?
Rod Rice or...
Okay, what if I'm going to make it more difficult?
Okay.
A character that is still alive. In the story.
So like 4 people, you know?
Yeah.
That is still alive.
SB says Premier Zachary. Yeah. Marco, what's up, dude?
Hello, Marco. Wow,
Marco, we have missed you, man. Hope you've been well.
As Kyron mentioned, the chat's bumping.
Yeah, we love it.
Hello.
Again,
hello,
guys,
family.
We're currently talking about who would be the worst mentor to have.
Yeah, Kyron agrees. He also says Flock.
Kyron agrees, Flock. Okay.
Because that person has to have some kind of mentoring experience.
Yeah, that'd be a tricky one. I'm holding my throat for you guys. Oh no,
What?
Marco! I'm guessing that means that you're not feeling
sick?
well. I'm sorry, my friend.
What's going on?
Hopefully you get better.
Aw.
Yeah.
Hopefully AttackOnTitan makes you feel a little better. Hopefully the podcast can help distract you, make you feel a little better.
Now, a character that I kind of have in mind, where I know that they'd be a fun mentor to have, but in terms of being a good mentor, I don't think they'd be necessarily a good mentor. But I mean, Connie.
Yeah.
I love Connie. I think Connie is an absolute sweetheart. I mean, Connie has a great heart, right? And we know that he's very loyal, and we know that he cares about his allies. And I just can't help but think about if I were to potentially be assigned to Connie, I think Connie would be very, very fun to be around, right? To learn from. But man, I don't know. I think that in terms of like growth and all that, right, that I'm going to be kind of very limited.
Yeah. I think that Connie
I might be a really good supporting character.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think like in terms of being a mentee under Connie, I think that he would be really good at mentoring non-battle stuff.
Yeah.
He'd be good in mentoring like you said, he's a really sweet and caring character. He'd be just like a good like big brother kind of figure to have.
Yeah.
But as far as like a battle mentor, I don't know.
So who do you think? You said Rod Rice? We can stick with Rod Rice, because I have another question I want to ask you guys. This is about the same topic
I think I'm
here.
going to stick with Rod Rice. Rod Rice or... I'll stick with Rod Rice.
Okay, yeah, because Rod Rice would be an absolute terrible character to have as your mentor, because
Willie.
talk about manipulation and talk about selfishness. But I want to ask you all now, who would be your preferred mentor? Who would be your top choice as a mentor, right? You don't have to think about logically in terms of like, oh, I know this character would make me the strongest. I know this character. Like, for you personally, you want to be assigned to this character. And I think you can probably guess on who I would want, Lex.
Would you want Armin?
Yes. I want my guy Armin. I want Armin to be my mentor.
Okay, Heisei wants Aaron.
I love it.
Kyron wants Irvin, of course.
Yeah. Love it. SB says Hanji, which is a really, really good one. I was thinking about Hanji as well.
I was thinking about Hanji too. I was like, Hanji would be really fun.
Yeah,
and
Hanji
I would also be strong.
Yeah. Man, Aaron would be insane because, man, Marco Levi, yeah.
Marco says Levi.
Again, for the reasons we mentioned, of course. I mean, Levi is legit. I'm guaranteed, though, that Marco would probably die, though, if he was attached to Levi, because anybody close to Levi dies. Well, I'd probably die, too, if I have Armin.
Yeah.
Love it. Agent Freak, yes, Armin. Knowledge and tactics.
Yeah.
We know it. We love to see it.
Super smart.
Marco says so that Levi can kick me like he did Aaron.
Like he did Aaron, yeah. Just to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, Heisha says, let's do it. Another rumbling. Get rumbled. Stay humbled. Love it.
You guys are funny. I'm going to have to agree with SB. I would say Hanji. I think I would choose Hanji.
Okay. But what if SB beat you to it and says she took Hanji?
She can have more than one.
No, you can only get one. So who's your I'll do the same. I'll say the Asian Freak took Armin from me.
I don't know. I'm really. Who would you say if you didn't pick Armin?
Yeah, if I didn't pick Armin, I mean, okay, I want to ask you all. I mean, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like currently alive? Because I mean, that gives out some options.
No, I would say anyone.
Yeah, just in general, right?
Because we're saying Irvin.
Yeah, because we're saying Irvin, right? We're saying,
we're saying Hanji. Yeah,
I was going to go ahead and mention Sasha. I think Sasha would be a really, really cool character to go ahead and learn from and talk about. Like, you're not just learning in terms of like scout wise, but you're also learning in terms of like hunting wise. And she has such great awareness.
Yeah.
And again, like just to be able to learn
instincts for
the little tricks of the trade that she has.
She's
right?
Always the first one to hear whenever like anything's coming, anything's out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Give me Gobby's aim. All right.
Give me Gobby's aim.
She's kind of OP on that.
Yeah.
No argument there.
I know. I like it too because the Asian Freak also mentioned that we got quite the picks already, and again, we're throwing out such amazing options, right? Man,
I could just be like, oh yeah, Mika's.
What about?
Yeah, Levi.
I mean, we're not even talking about really like the Titan warriors here. I mean, what about like Rhina, Annie? Bertold, Zeke, like
Zeke.
We're not even talking about these characters. Historia, we're not even talking about royalty. We're not talking about Historia, who's still alive. I says I tried to manipulate Aaron. Oh, that'd be tough, man.
Manipulate Aaron, the manipulator. Gaslight him.
That'd be like the perfect plot twist, and all of a sudden, like Aaron we think he's the puppeteer here, the puppet master, and then all of a sudden we get like a random scene where it's just like a zoom in on Aaron, just looking so fierce, getting ready to go ahead and plan his next step, and as the camera like pans out, it's just Heisei just like feeding all the stuff into his ears, like whispering,
it's
like
literally Heisei. It's a whole crossover of animes. Let me think. What if I was like, Ymir?
Ymir, yeah.
Aaron has your uncle.
Aaron has your uncle memories too,
yeah.
I mean, we talked about just Aaron Kruger. I mean, just to kind of like blind faith to be like, yeah, Aaron Kruger as my, mentor, just for the fact of, he's the owl. He's the one who kind of like, we see that he is a force to be reckoned with. And Marcus, Ymir.
Ymir.
Yeah.
What if I chose Peak just for the sim factor?
There you go, and you get to ride in the cart.
I get to ride on the card Titan.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, I promise. Her Titan just is questionable.
Yeah.
Same with Ymir.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many characters where you can think about in just potentially being, mentors, because I mean, there's so many strong characters in Attack on Titan, and we love it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the car titan, man.
You know exactly what I meant.
Yeah. I said what I said. I remember when Aaron told
Falco he's Kruger. Yeah.
Oh, Falco. Falling for the wrong girls.
Right. All right, guys, we love it. We thank you so much for your guys' input, man. I love having discussion like this.
Oh, we didn't even say Pixis.
Yeah, but I mean, do we really want to go ahead and become
he'd be fun to hang
alcoholics and stuff and just like
hang out with?
Yeah, but yeah, he'd be fun to hang out with. But
it all depends on what your goal is. Is your goal to have fun? Is your goal to be a warrior? Is your goal
I don't know.
To fight? Is your goal to hang out?
I thought about Pixis, but I'm like, Pixis is just a character where I mean he's a really good ally. He obviously is.
He's got them connections. He's a great
he's well
authority
connected for sure.
But his morals, I don't know, man. He's just fun to be around. He's fun to have around, That's why they kept Pixis around. I'm like, this dude's just fun.
Hannes would be another that's talking about same thing with Pixis and. I got love for Hannes.
Oh yeah,
it's one of the few times that I cried. One of the few times that I cried on this podcast.
Yeah,
was talking about Hannes, and obviously we know how that played out and Hannes' death and everything, and that one really, really got me, man.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Hannes is one of those. Poor Hannes. R.I.P. Hannes. Yeah, he'd be a pretty good mentor. Yeah, that one's good. That one's really good. Dang. All right. You guys all have such great picks.
I didn't even mention
and it's like all different too.
Yeah, I didn't even mention my fan cast Grisha.
I know. You weren't even like, yeah, I'll have Grisha because that's. I don't know, because it's like, did Grisha really do anything, or did he just get manipulated?
I don't know. Am I getting the Grisha mentor that is the father to Zeke or the father to Aaron? Because those are two completely different fathers.
You're getting.
Yeah, Kairos, I forgot all about Hannes. I know,
same.
honestly, me too. And SB, thank you so much for reminding us all of Hannes, because
that's so true.
Hannes is a beloved character in my heart.
Yeah, what if I was like, Carla?
yeah, exactly.
Give me the person that dies in the first 20 minutes.
All right, well, thank you all so much again for your input and anybody that voted for the poll, all that. I mean, again, there's no wrong answers with which Ackerman you get as a mentor. I mean, let's face it. Hi, sisters. Or Marco as well. I mean, shoot, Marco is another character that is so beloved in this anime that we still talk about this character. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, Marco is still same range, same tier, but a step above for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love Hannes. We love Hannes, but Hannes is not Marco.
Yeah.
Like Marco, right from the get-go, we see that Marco was a character that is just like caring and so loyal and so. And even honest as well too. We talked about his
passion till later.
Yeah, and we talked about even with Marco and his dialogue with Jean and really not lying to him at all, but speaking the truth. And we see that he becomes the heart and soul to a lot of these characters, man. Early on when Marco's gone, I mean, he becomes just like the motivation.
Yeah, it's really easy to like connect to a character like that.
Yeah, and again, it sucks that this dude literally got assigned to his group of scouts where every single other member is the traitor. It's like, oh man, Marco just wrong place.
Really wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Poor Marco.
What did you just say, Raina?
No. I'll forget it. I'll forget I heard anything. I promise.
We just want to talk.
I know.
And all that.
I know. Just trying to plead for his life.
He just wanted to talk and reason.
Why are you letting them do that? Anyways, let's
go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about the Q&A now.
Q&A. Yeah. So interesting Q&A, guys. Last week we asked you guys, do you think that Premier Zachary's torture chair is the worst form of punishment in AOT besides death?
Ugh, yeah, it's so. You know what? I mean, it's like
such
spine-chilling,
weird moment in Attack on Titan.
When you go ahead and you talk about it, right, and you're watching the anime, like it's just like it's really disgusting, but it's kind of like, oh, we're playful, like ho ho ho, right? But when you go ahead and you see that, like the manga stills, or you see like that talking about it,
yeah,
and
the joy that Premier Zachary has,
it's just really just like
doing it.
It's upsetting. It's like it's disgusting. It's like
it's such like a gross scene that like
Sorry, guys.
Really just like I forgot all about that. It's such a weird scene that like a lot of Attack on Titan fan or like watchers just like block out of their mind. Because I literally was talking to the Asian freak the other day, and I was showing him like, oh yeah, like this is our Q&A response, like our Q&A question, and he was like, what is that? And I was like, you don't remember this scene? He was like, no. And I was like, yeah, we all blocked it from our memory.
That's the thing is that
we all blocked it from, because I didn't even remember it until we actually went to review it in the episode. I was like, oh my gosh, this did happen, huh?
To be honest, I remember it was I can't remember exactly which episode it was, but Kyron mentioned it, and I think we were talking about forms of torturing, right, and stuff. And I think Kyron had mentioned that specific thing, the chair, and it took me a little while to even kind of like remember or even like know what you're talking about. And then as soon as I looked it up, or as soon as I recall, I was like, oh, that's right, the freaking chair.
Yeah.
This chair that Premier Zachary is so proud of. It's like, dude, like really? Like, what kind of sick person do you have to be to like take joy in doing this? And the fact that this dude is like
parade around
there, like present, and you know, like moving this freaking tube around, and you can only imagine the stuff that he's feeling in this tube, you know, and this is not, and it's just like, oh my god,
like coaxing more stuff down and like just like shoving it more in his mouth. Let's anyway.
And he's laughing about it, man. He's got freaking full on Joker brain, man. You know, it's just
he wants to talk about parading him out to go out for people to see him, and especially if it's done by Premier Zachary, this is a horrible form.
And we know that the other characters, kind of like at least we've seen with Pixis, that he's aware of this torture tactic, right? And then even Pixis himself is just like oh man, like essentially like, what is wrong with the guy, you know, like for as much as Premier Zachary would think that it's like, oh my god, I want to go ahead and show you off, the other people are just gonna like take it in and be like, bro, what is wrong with you, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, Kenny, what's up, dude?
Hello, Kenny. Hello.
What is up?
Look at this full house we have today.
We love you guys.
So yeah, that was a question, and let's go ahead and get through some of the
very thing he loved. It got him in the end for sure.
Yeah, it definitely killed him in the end. Anyways,
can you imagine like him having to go ahead and clean that thing, you know, for like different, you know?
Yeah. Or like, you could make the torture worse. They didn't clean it.
That's true. You know what?
I don't know why they would clean something tortured.
I don't think he would go ahead and clean it. Yeah. Oh, now that I'm thinking more about it, I just don't want. Let's stop.
Anyways, first we have friend of the show, Eddie.
All right, Eddie. What does Eddie have to say?
Says yes! ! My man's on a whole nother level in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, like we just talked about. I mean, when you go ahead and you really see that specific moment in the manga, is just very, very discomforting in it. And I mean, again, it's kind of like sugar coated and very kind of like, I don't know, playful is the right word, but you know, with the anime.
Yeah.
But then again, manga
a little
is
bit more censorship,
other,
and then manga doesn't really censor anything.
Even with Premier Zachary's death, I mean, I remember looking up obviously the torture chair, right? And then you go to like images and whatnot, and then you kind of forget about how gruesome of a death, you know, Premier Zachary, unfortunately, you know, how he died.
Yeah, because it is gruesome in the anime.
In the anime,
it's a little, it's kind of censored.
They don't show it, you know, of course, but then they have it right there, clear as day, over on the manga. And
yeah, the manga,
like,
you have it right there, point blank, and you could just stare at it. Yeah, Eddie, I agree. He is on a whole another level. Yeah. Thank you for that response. Then we have I Am Storm, LOL.
Hold on, I Am Storm. I want to ask, is that you, Heise?
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that is Heise. I Am Storm, a.k.a. Jacob, a.k.a. Heise? Question mark? Yeah, all right,
okay, cool. Heise.
Okay. I thought so. Hello, what's up?
So this is Heise. What does Heise have to say?
Heise just sends 2 crying emojis.
Yeah, I mean, because again, it's just so scarring. Yeah. Right? Like when you really think about it, and I don't think any of us really want to go ahead and like put the time to think about, you know, like torture taxing and whatnot, because this one kind of unfortunately takes the cake.
Yeah. Okay. Next we have SB.
All right, SB.
Hello, SB says yes, but honorable mention goes to Grisha's sister being ripped apart by dogs for nothing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And it was literally like for nothing. It was just like, oh, you're not supposed to be on this side of the gate.
They just did it because it's like, man, they're just assholes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, make an example out of her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Like this little girl being ripped apart by dogs.
Yeah, that's Grisha's sister, huh?
Yeah,
because SB just said that. I was totally listening, SB.
Yeah. Aaron's auntie. Yeah.
Aaron's auntie. Oh man, yeah. That is.
Yeah, that one. I like forgot about that too. SB.
I think that might be another moment where you try to just like block it from your mind.
Yeah.
You know,
it just happened. The thing is, in Attack on Titan, things happen so quick that you're always so scarred about. While there's also main story, like side plots. There's a lot of plots going on, and then you're just trying to keep up with everything, and your brain just doesn't have the capacity to just hold in that tragic what's going on.
Yeah. Kyron, man, wait. You know, now that I think about it, Aaron's scene, right? When his auntie got murdered too.
Yeah. Because Aaron sees all. He's probably seen
the state where we see Aaron. I mean, we know that guy. He's like very, very numb to everything happening, and we can only imagine everything that he saw, right? I mean, he probably saw some really, really scarring like stuff happening to his family members, right? And to anybody else involved, and even like we talked about, like seeing his own family member, his own blood, his own father doing the things that he did to acquire this Titan ability that Aaron's gonna go ahead and receive. It's like, man, taking all of that in, it's just like everything that he's seen. Again, it's just it proves and it shows why Aaron is the way he is right now. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. That's why I like
shout out Kenny.
Phased by stuff.
We're so glad you stopped by too, man.
Oh yeah, much love.
Love
Kenny,
you,
much
bro.
Love. There's so many. Yeah, I can only imagine what Aaron has seen. Okay. Anyways,
and we don't even know everything that Aaron's seen. I mean, Aaron has he seen everything? That's the thing. Has he seen literally everything? Because if he has, I mean, again, just even talking about and we get it like later on, right, in season 4 with OG Ymir and her terrible origin story and having King Fritz just doing unthinkable things, right? Yeah. And then if you're Aaron, you go ahead and you see this person essentially being cursed and acquiring this this Titan ability, and then dying off, and then as king, what does he think? Like, I need my offsprings to acquire it and consume the body. Yeah. And it's like, bro, you got to be some kind of sick, twisted type of person.
That is also that's I thought about that too when it was like, oh, what's the worst torture scene? I was like, I guess, like, I did think about like King Fritz making Ymir or making the 3 daughters.
Yeah, because the thing is, that's not torture for Ymir. That's torture for the daughters.
Ymir is already dead.
Yeah.
But torture for the daughters, Maria Rose and Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cena.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking of it being spelled like John Cena.
No.
Like how dinner is spelled in Spanish, like Cena. I was like, that is not the name of a wall.
No.
Yeah, that's also horrible. Thank you for that, SB. Thank you for that horrible reminder.
So again, talking about Aaron, Heisa says the sea scene, right? The sea. Everybody is so happy. They're so happy about the ocean. And then we see Aaron, right?
Yeah.
And Aaron's just talking about what is on the other side of that sea.
Our enemy.
The enemy. And again, man, I mean, I think that this is so important because early on, right, when they talk about the sea, it's like that is the destination, and you would think that everybody's going to have this sense of like, all right, calming and like, oh, we did it. We made it to the sea.
Like, finally got here. Like, actually enjoy the moment.
You can celebrate,
you've never had moments to like celebrate.
Everybody else is having so much fun. But then you see Aaron and it's like,
the party pooper.
This isn't the destination. This is just merely the beginning, because Aaron has seen and he knows what essentially the story is going to write. Yeah. And man, you know what? It's just so sad because I mean, Aaron, he's still, these characters are all still so young, but this dude is just all just different types of scarred. And again, we know the moment that he goes and he, I would say the moment that he becomes very scarred was the kiss, right? But I mean, we see now Aaron even where he's at right now in the story. We're talking about season 3, right? Early on in season 3, when Rod Rice forces those memories to go ahead and come back. Like, this is the transition part here when Aaron is now becoming really just fucked up in the head.
He's starting to understand.
And then Kyron says, also, now that I think about it, imagine Hanji finding out about all the sea life that's in the ocean.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because even like, IRL, we don't really know all of what's in there. So imagine how Hanji is would react.
Yeah.
But they're not Titans, so.
Exactly. There's no sea Titans.
Yeah,
Or is there?
Or is there? Yeah, we don't know. Maybe she was right about the digging Titans. Maybe there are different species.
Maybe that's what Peak did. Maybe Peak, while she was there over in Parody, she was just digging and just to hide herself, So maybe Hanji was on the right track.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Maybe. But
Ymir did that. Ymir dug herself to go ahead and hide. Remember?
No, she didn't dig herself. She
didn't?
Just laid there for
she just laid there and allowed just the landscape to go ahead and just
she just found a perfectly jaw titan size
ditch.
ditch for her to lay in, and then just like blankets of snow and dirt and rubble just over her.
Gotcha.
Until she came out at the perfect time,
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that, SB. Next we have from Soul Castle Productions says,
right.
Jesus, that's terrible.
It is. Again, I mean, it's we're talking about it in the story now, and it just, again, like for so many of us, we forgot about it, and then because we're talking about it, it reminded us, and we're scarred and stuff. We're just bringing back these terrible feelings that we felt about this whole freaking scene.
You can't unsee it. Like once you're reminded, all the feelings just come flooding back. Where it's like, ugh.
And I already know that once we get past this part of the story, we're gonna go ahead and again just forget it from our memories, and we're gonna get reminded about it again once we go ahead and get to the point where the chair comes back to bite Premier's actor in the ass. You know?
The thing that he loved came back to kill him in the end. Thank you for that, Soul Castle Productions. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Next we have Bobby.
All right.
Friend of the show, Bobby says, yes, in all caps. Hands down, maybe being devoured is a close second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of horrible torture scenes in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like being devoured and all that, I mean, it depends because we see some of these characters. I mean, it's just kind of like a one go, but then
be a real quick.
We've seen
chomp
characters
off the head and they're out, or
we've seen characters
back broken and then
exactly. Back broken like Carla, right? We've seen even with Mike got freaking absolutely torn apart, ripped to shreds, right? I mean, we've seen with same thing with freaking Nanaba and with Gelger. I mean, they got torn apart, right? We see even freaking Hannes got freaking ripped in half.
Yeah,
I mean, some of these characters when they're getting devoured, right? I mean, it's
like they suffer on their way out.
Yeah, it's gruesome ways and stuff, right? I mean.
Or you could be like that person in episode 1 that just gets picked up by their head.
Yeah, exactly.
Runs into a dead end.
Yeah. Hi says mentions here in chat the Ymir scene, right? The Ymir scenes make me so sad here because you have a little girl that's just a slave to everyone. She has kids, right? And nasty. I got relief when Eren tells her that she's not a slave and she serves no one. Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, that was a weirdly wholesome moment from Eren.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he understands Ymir, because he feels like I think he feels like he can relate to her because Eren has felt like a slave.
Because Eren has been so many times, imprisoned, right? He's so many times we see him in chains. So many times is he not free, and that's
captured and held against his will, and just like freedom is not a thing to Eren. That's why obviously he's like doing this mass genocide now.
Yeah.
But I think that I would love to get more like scenes like that with Eren and Ymir, because they have such similar like experiences regarding freedom.
Yeah, but the thing was with Ymir though is that she's not even free. It's not until Eren really gets into the picture, when Eren relieves her of her, of her being the slave, and in the paths and stuff, and man, it's moments like that where you kind of like think to yourself, man, you know what? I kind of, I guess, understand where Eren is kind of coming from, Yeah, it's in a very, very big scale of genocide, right? And again, he doesn't need to go ahead and take out every enemy, and all that, right? But this is just him really going out of his way to just protect everything that he cares about, and he will not be denied at all ever going forward, right? That nothing's going to go ahead and take away those that he cares about, right? The place that he loves, his home. Nobody's going to come and take away the freedom, right? And again, it's at this very, very large scale of just, unfortunately, genocide. But it's moments like that when you go ahead and you see everything that he's going through, everything that Eren is doing. We're talking about just manipulation. We're talking about like being the puppet master. But he's doing every single step, everything, so that he can go ahead and free Ymir of this. he can go ahead and take on that responsibility and now make sure going forward, right, that there's going to be no more of everything that he had to go ahead and deal with growing up, right?
Yeah.
And again, he has seen all. I mean, who knows everything that he's seen in all of the past, like Titan users, all of the past people in power and everything that they had to go ahead and go through and endure, right? And man, it's just, it's really sad when you do really think about it, right? But man, Ymir is it's very, very tragic because, like Heisa said, I mean, we see this little girl was essentially just becomes a slave.
She was just a
sad.
slave to everyone.
Yeah, I agree, SB.
Children.
We all have love for Ymir, and yeah, the backstory is very, very tragic. And that's going to be a really tough one when we get to that point, you know, way down the line. But when we start talking about that and we have to get into like the details about it, man, it's going to be a tough one for sure.
Yeah, thank you for that, Bobby.
Yeah.
Next we have Rena Nell, 9614. Hello. They say, yes.
Yeah.
In all caps.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about so many times how horrible this scene is. Thank you for that. Next we have Portraits by K.A., which would be friend of the show, Kyron. Kyron just says, "Hey yo, pause," in all caps. Yeah, that's it.
That's it, man. I mean, honestly, I mean, we're all on. I mean, we all agree that this is like beyond like torture, right? There's this is like unnecessary.
Yeah, this is like being, and then like, do you think that Zachary actually did like parade him around?
I don't know. We don't see it.
Him out in the street,
right? I mean, at least we don't see it. I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. But, I mean, this guy can't just lock this dude up and start ripping some nails off, you know?
I know. Like you can't just, like, do the normal method of torture.
You know?
You have to get, like, creative. I mean, I mean, in real life, we have, like, medieval methods of torture that are, like, so, like, why are you being so extra for? Like, the whole, like the actual, like, medieval methods of torture where they have people, like, sit in a bucket.
Yeah.
Or like sit in like a like a barrel, and they like purposely feed them like rotting food so that they like have diarrhea on themselves and they get eaten away by maggots.
Can you imagine if that's what Premier Zachary's doing?
Yeah, because there's some methods of torture that it's like they play the long game.
So it causes him to have diarrhea, and he's just constantly eating his own little soup of diarrhea.
He's a single man centipede.
Oh.
And then the actual another medieval way of torture is like they have a metal like bowl on their stomach with a rat inside of the bowl. So so they heat up the end of the metal bowl so that the rat has no choice but to dig out through your stomach, through your intestines. Yeah. So if you think about how horrible torture methods are in Attack on Titan, we really did that in real life. We really did stuff like that IRL. So you guys are testing Marco's stomach. Oh yeah, sorry Marco, forgot about that. Anyways,
so true.
my bad. But yeah, that's real, and those are all of the Q&A responses we have. Thank you
so much for everybody that responded. We love the feedback. And Kyron says definitely like Game of Thrones. Shame. That's what they would do. They go ahead and shame you in public, take you throughout the village in chains, have you take a stroll naked, and
even as if you weren't already vulnerable,
and just make an example of you. But there's been a lot of different forms of torture as well over in Game of Thrones. I mean, we know
more.
What's that freaking full name? Ramsey with his freaking dogs, his starving dogs, and he just has them go ahead and just completely munch on whoever he wants to die. I mean, just like with Premier Zachary in the chair. I mean, the dogs are the thing that ultimately takes care of this character. But
yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of talk about forms of torture. I mean, I think Game of Thrones is another series. You can go ahead and see some pretty outrageous forms of torture. Yeah, I agree. ISIS is not the rat going through the stomach.
Yeah, there's some really, really bad methods of torture. There's some that are like psychological, where they just have like a water droplet constantly like dripping on their head. At like very like rhythmic pace, so that it's like you just like die to like madness.
See, Kyron's telling Heisey to look up the Bad Boys movie. Kyron believes it's the first one, but one of the mob people, they did that with the rat in the bucket.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. That's torture for the rat, too.
Yeah, I know.
It's double torture. I am definitely not looking it up now. So thanks for letting me know what to avoid. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you again, guys, for all the feedback, for all the responses. And we, of course, have we're an hour in already, guys, and we have a story to go and talk about. So me and Lex are going to go ahead and get
episode,
into.
Guys.
Yeah, we're going to get into the episode. And if you guys, of course, have any questions or you guys want to go ahead and chime in with your input, by all means, make sure you guys go ahead and be lively in chat. We appreciate it. And without further ado, yeah, me and Lex can get into it. So again, guys, this is season 3, episode 7. This episode's name is Wish. And yeah,
let's get into it.
So we start off this episode where we last left off with Eren, Historia, and Rod Rice. Rod Rice tells his daughter, "All right, Historia, it seems we're finally alone. I'm sorry for making you wait. Listen, Historia." As Rod Rice, of course, walks closer and he places his hand on Historia's shoulder. "I imagine that this will sound strange to you, but Frida isn't entirely dead." We see the sudden shock just take over Historia's face as Rod Rice has a stern expression on his face. Rod Rice continues, "Your sister's memories are still alive. Would you like the chance to meet her again?" Historia, now feeling relief and hope, answers,
"Yes."
Rod Rice continues his serious, stern stare. We then quickly transition to Rod Rice now rummaging through a bag of his, looking for something important. He pulls out a smaller, black, enclosed case. We see him open the case, and then we see inside a needle to be injected with a small, like, strange jar of fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Eren, still very much stuck in chains, he opens his eyes wide as he appears to now recognize this important device. Eren immediately begins to remember. He remembers his father Grisha forcing that same injection into him, as Grisha tells a young Eren with determination and tears, "Understand, Eren! Think of your mother! You can avenge her!" Then we now see Rod Rice loading up the injection with the fluid as he looks at Historia. And then Eren now suddenly begins screaming as he desperately tries to pull himself free of those chains. We hear Eren just like, right? Rod Rice, hearing Eren, just side eyes and stares.
Rod Rice really gave Eren a side eye.
Let's very quickly go ahead and talk about this moment, right, before we kind of transition into a different part of the story. Now, we know that as Rod Rice says that now that we're finally alone, he's saying that because, I mean, obviously, you know, this is whatever this whole kind of, you know, ceremony, this procedure that they do, right?
That Kenny couldn't
transferring of the Titan users and whatnot, right? Exactly. Kenny couldn't be a part of it. Kenny was there and he's like, hey, let's go. Come on.
Where's the trust? Come on now.
The chit chat. But he says that now they're finally alone, right? And just talk about manipulation here. I mean, I think this is just another thing that I mean, while Rod Rice probably he's not wrong, right? That if Historia were to go ahead and fulfill this ceremony and you know, reclaim the founding Titan, right? That she would see Frida again.
Yeah.
Right.
Some in some memory way, yeah.
But again, I think this is just manipulation by Rod Rice because he sees just
sees her connection,
the emotion, exactly, the connection, and that realization that Historia herself wasn't ever alone because she had Frida there, constantly visiting her over in the, you know, the Rod Rice estates, right, over in the farm, and then just being there for her as an amazing, caring, warm-hearted half sister, right? But again, I just can't help but think about Rod Rice is doing everything that he can to manipulate Historia to go and just fulfill this this prophecy, right? But as he's manipulating Historia, and of course Historia wants to see Frida again, she of course says yes. But then Eren sees exactly what Rod Rice pulls out of his bag. He sees that case. He sees him opening that case. He sees
the vial of fluid.
That fluid. He sees this shot, this freaking large needle that is going to get injected right into whoever
like
it is.
Epidural needle.
Right, yeah.
Gigantic needle.
And then we know that this injection is going to go and transform Historia into a pure Titan, right? So that she can go ahead and eat Eren. And of course, this, as if Eren isn't already dealing with these memories, right? Bad. Well, hey, thank you for joining us. We're going through the anime, so so yeah. But I mean, man, this is again something where it's like Eren is already so scarred. He's already trying to just like digest, right?
Yeah.
Everything that he saw, and he's about to go ahead and witness it now happening right in front of his face. Except he is going to be the Frida in this scenario, right? But man, I mean, we see just the chills and everything that ascends into Eren because Eren instantly he recognizes and he starts freaking out. You know, we see Eren in that moment. He essentially has given up. He's kind of just like in this chains and he's just like scarred, numb, frozen. You know, again, as I talked about, just really trying to just deal with everything that he saw, that he witnessed, right? That he witnessed his father doing. And then he snaps out of it, seeing that thing, and now he starts freaking out again. He's trying to go ahead and pull himself free of these chains. And I think, do you think it's because maybe he sees, he knew the process, he saw what happened, and maybe he doesn't want Historia to go ahead and have to go through that? Do you think he's fearful of his own life? Do you think what do you think is going through Eren's mind right now?
I think it's a combination of, I think the beginning feeling is like, oh my gosh, I recognize that gives me like PTSD, and he's probably like, you know, telling a story, trying to, you know, tell a story like, please, like, don't do it, like it's not going to be a good, like, I didn't ask for it and it was forced upon me, like, don't let it be forced upon you. And then it's like the after of like, oh crap, that's so she can eat me.
Exactly.
I kind of wouldn't like to not be consumed.
Yeah. Because we talked about it last week's episode, right? Where it's like Eren, I think that might have been the moment he realized that transferring of the Titans involves consuming the previous Titan owner. Yeah. Right?
Considering that he saw, you know, just moments before this, him in the memories, him consuming his father. Yeah.
And I think for the longest time, he was just seated. He didn't really see or even know what happened to his father. And it wasn't until Rod Rice
didn't know where he
touched this fool. And here, let me go ahead and remind you, right? Let me show you your father's sin, right? And now that Eren is aware of it, again, like you mentioned, Lexi, that this is probably now just, again, sending just absolute fear and chills into Eren's heart. And you know, man,
it's a little traumatized.
Yeah, definitely. And this moment here with that we kind of recall with Grisha, right? Grisha, as he is forcing this injection, right, you know, into Eren, we can see how much it's obviously hurting Grisha. As his father, of course, it would go ahead and be painful to him, right?
Put pain on your child like that.
But Grisha understands that this is something that he has to do going forward, right?
Think about your mother.
Eren Kruger is the one who essentially passed down his mission onto Grisha, right? And we know that with Grisha, is that he had to go ahead and do this terrible act. He had to go ahead and steal the founding Titan from the Rice family, right? And he did it for the betterment of humanity, so we thought, until we realized later on down the line that Eren is really the one who is essentially, you know, giving the orders here, right? But man, in this moment, I can't help it as we were watching it, seeing again just the pain in Grisha's eyes and just like the fact that he mentions to Eren, man, you know, just like he tells him to think of your mother, right?
To avenge her.
And I know this is Mother's Day, right? And it's kind of on theme here, timely. Right? But man, it's again, it's kind of like a reminder, man, of just like, this is the reason why I'm doing this terrible thing. This is why I'm doing it, right? And I know that this is painful to me, but I need you to go ahead and think of your mother and to avenge her. And yeah, I mean, again, this is something that happened so early on, like literally episode 1, right, where we go ahead and Eren loses his mom, which is terrible. But again, I can't help but just kind of as I was looking at it, man, this scene was kind of like it was a tough watch. But man, Aaron, he sees this needle and he's freaking out. But then Rod Rice, that scummy Rod Rice, man, he goes from like as he's like preparing this injection, right? He's just like staring at Historia, just staring at her. Then he sees Aaron freak out and he just goes and kind of like turns and side eyes Aaron, like you know,
please do not let her know that this is actually a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to manipulate her here.
Okay, let me ask you now, Historia, if she goes and she does this, right? She gets injected, she eats Aaron. She not only acquires the Founding Titan, but of course she acquires the AttackOnTitan as well, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting to think that when you have certain Titan abilities, that's kind of like, you know, you're stacking Titans, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Aaron now at this point, I mean, he's got not only the attack, not only the Founding Titan, but he also has the Warhammer, you know, and all that. So I mean, this guy, he's just getting all the Infinity Stones.
He's trying to, you know, collect them all. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rod Rice, manipulation, and he's trying to make sure that this entire process is going to go ahead and happen. And again,
according to his plan,
he's manipulating Historia with her attachment to Frida. Which, I mean, it sucks, but
manipulators be manipulating.
But meanwhile, right, at the entrance to the underground chapel, we see that entrance door gets kicked open as Kenny's elites, they react and they wait. The elites, they all take cover as Kaven, she draws out her gun and warns.
Here they come. Wait.
She gasps as she notices large barrels rolling down the staircase from the entrance. The barrels reach the bottom of the staircase and Kaven wonders,
what are those?
And then quickly, Captain Levi and his squad make their entrance. Kaven notices Sasha with her bow, readying an arrow. This arrow is on fire.
Shit!
Then Sasha launches the arrow and connects with one of those barrels, causing it to explode and emit heavy black smoke. Kaven, noticing, now says,
damn it! Gunpowder. Judging by those fires, the barrels must have had bags of oil on them. This could get ugly.
And then, coming through the smoke, we see ODM cables being launched as Captain Levi and Mikasa emerge. Elites noticing, they say, here they come! Shoot them down! Huh? And then the elites hesitate as Levi and Mikasa launch themselves past them with a trail of green signal flare smoke. More green smoke signal flares get repeatedly launched by Connie, Jean, Armin, and Hanji as Kaven takes notice.
We can't shoot if we can't see our targets.
Green smoke from the signal flares and the black smoke from the barrels, they fill the air as Captain Levi flies to higher ground for a better view. Levi counts 24, 32. Then Levi yells out, 35 total in the upper parts of the pillars. Continue the plan. We'll take them all out right here. Levi and Mikasa now head for the elites. But Kaven orders,
everyone scatter. Let them spread out. Then surround them.
Kaven launches her ODM wire, and we see the Levi squad do the same. We see Hanji leading Connie and Jean to higher ground as Armin and Sasha provide support from the entrance. Armin continues to launch signal flares, and Sasha uses her bow and arrow to explode more barrels. One of the elites flying through the smoke says, I can't see shit! Damn it! Where'd they go? And just like that, Jean emerges from the smoke behind him. But before Jean could strike, he recalls Armin's words. The anti-personnel ODM gear has a big weakness. The anchor points in the same direction as the gun, so once it's deployed, the gun can't be aimed again. Which means that while the user's moving, they're vulnerable to an attack from behind. The elite notices Jean behind him, but it's too late. Jean, with his blade, strikes the elite down. Jean stares at the elite, staring back at him, gasping for air. But Jean finishes the job as he strikes down again with a vicious yell. Two other elites trying to locate the scouts. They notice Connie searching for enemies They aim their guns and fire at Connie, but Connie is able to get lost in the smoke, and the bullets hit nothing. I missed? Damn it, lost him! And then Connie then emerges from the smoke and uses the chapel wall to launch himself towards the elite, and then we see blood splatter as Connie grunts and the elites, right? And he grunts and the elite. I don't know what I was trying to write right
him
there.
And the elite are grunting.
Yeah, but Connie goes and he strikes and he elites. He strikes and he grunts.
Yeah.
However, though, that elite wasn't alone, as his partner aims at Connie again.
Die!
Okay, I like it. Connie notices, but it's too late. If the elite shoots, Connie's a goner. But right before the elite can pull the trigger, an arrow pierces her in the chest, killing her, causing her to fall into the smoky abyss. A relieved Connie looks in the direction of the entrance and says, Sasha! And then Armin yells out to Connie, Connie! Get back into the smoke before they shoot you! Duh.
Yeah.
And then Sasha readies another arrow as we get a close look at her expression, just showing a pissed off hunter not to be messed with. Now, another elite aims his weapons at a scout, and we see that he's aiming at Hanji. Hanji shrouds herself in signal flare smoke, causing the elite to miss both shots. And as we see now Hanji counter, we continue hearing Armin's lessons, but their greatest weakness is that once they fire twice, and now as we see Hanji piercing the elite right in the gut as blood splatter sprays onto her right eye. Armin continues, they need a few seconds to reload their weapons. And then another barrel explodes as more smoke fills the air. We see elites flying around just trying to find the scouts. Caven, searching, tells herself,
we're getting slaughtered.
And then a group of elites watching a specific scout says, damn, she's fast. And then the group, they fire their guns at that scout. And of course, we see that this scout that they're aiming at is Mikasa, as she glides with such speed, avoiding every shot directed at her. And we see Mikasa, she circles back around, and then she comes and she gracefully slices her way through the group of elites with ease. Caven continues telling herself,
once they've closed the rage gap, swords have the advantage.
And then we continue seeing Mikasa circling and countering as she counters an elite by pinning him against the wall, by kicking and pressing her boot against this dude's face. Caven now says,
we have to stop them.
And
we now go. Oh, yeah.
You want to narrate?
Yeah, I'm just going to narrate as Caven, actually.
Yeah, so Caven says we have to stop them. And then we now go to the captain as we get this eerie shot of Levi with red eyes, slicing elites down with no remorse whatsoever. And then Captain Levi appears to be behind Caven. As a terrified Caven says,
at this rate, they'll wipe us out.
Levi now zeroes in on Caven, heading directly for her. But before he can strike her down, he catches something in the corner of his eye. And Levi hears, woo! Woohoo! And we see Kenny the Ripper doing flips with his ODM cable. Kenny shoots at Levi, but Levi narrowly avoids using one of the pillars for protection. Levi takes cover, and Kenny lands on a nearby pillar. Kenny tells Levi, hey, Levi, I don't exactly have time to waste on you, but I just can't have you getting any further. We see Kenny replenishes his ammo. So be it. I'll just have to play. To be continued. Man, we're going to stop right there. Okay, before Kenny gets involved.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and we'll continue on with the story next week when we go ahead and we see Levi versus Kenny part 2.
Right as you mentioned the Hanji Ai thing, I immediately pointed to it. I saw that Kyron had typed that like literally like 2 minutes before we read it.
And this is definitely the moment that Kyron was mentioning, right? A couple weeks ago, and it's something where it's so kind of, it quickly happens, and again, it kind of just like we gloss it over because we don't understand what's going to happen going, later on in the story. But then when we see that, Hanji loses an eye, right? We can't help but kind of now notice as we rewatch that scene, that moment, and it's like, what the hell? Wait, why that specific eye? And
completely
foreshadowing, right?
Yeah.
And foreshadowing. But I definitely want to go ahead and really talk about this entire sequence because when you watch it, man, it's
with the music and the voice acting,
very tense
and the visuals.
Moment. High stakes, of course, because man, these scouts are going and they're infiltrating this chapel where they know on the other side of those doors is going to be the elite. It's going to be the enemy. They're totally waiting for us, right? And then we have to get through them in order to get to Eren and to Historia, right? And of course, Levi warns them last week's episode that not only is it the elites you have to worry about, but you also have to worry about Kenny the Ripper. He is going to be the most difficult enemy, and it would be like fighting me.
Yeah.
Except, no, it'd be worse because of the ODM gear.
Because of the equipment they have. And not to mention there's 35 of the elites, not counting Kenny the Ripper.
Yeah.
And there's only, what, six of them? Because there is Levi, Mikasa, Hanji, and then Connie, Sasha, Jean. Yeah. 6 of them.
Yeah.
6 versus 36. Let's go.
But of course, we know that with the scouts, I mean,
they had great plans.
Few numbers.
Oh, and Armin.
But
7.
But Armin is able to go ahead. I would imagine that he obviously played a part in the strategy, as we see that he is there with Levi and Hanji, kind of coming up with a plan. While everybody else is kind of preparing themselves for what's going to happen.
And the smoke and closing the range, knowing the weaknesses of their gear.
Yeah.
So clever, so smart, and like even Kaven is recognizing like, oh my gosh, we are in trouble.
They're recognizing that, man, like when they essentially can't see, right? That the swords have the advantage.
Yeah, especially when it's close range. As soon as they close that gap, it's like, oh well. And also, you know that they've already shot twice. While they're in movement, they can't move. While they're already, they really thought about this. This is really good. And then we have a really cool Jean scene of him like atoning for his hesitation before. Yeah. He goes in and he kills this dude, and he does it in such like a valiant, like he's doing this for a purpose. Like
he does it with just a lot of determination.
Yeah, determination. That's
and like you said, Lex. I mean, this is redemption here.
Yeah.
Because he needed somebody to go and save him. Somebody like Armin, who I mean, shoot, like.
That guy
Armin didn't want to have to do that, of course,
obviously.
I mean, we're talking about how this is...
Armin is also very perceptive and knows, like, what needs to be done and everything,
But I do really like that moment a lot. I mean, with Jean, because it's, again, like you mentioned, I mean, this is the development that we want to see in these characters, because if they don't, then they're, of course, going to go ahead and die or be liabilities and cause one of their allies to die, right? But, man, I can't help but just want to talk about this moment, man, when Connie is able to get after one of the elites, right? He's vulnerable to the other elite that's there, and Connie is kind of just, boom, dead in the water. He can't move. He's the target right there. And who saves the day? We go ahead and see this arrow come flying in and take out that elite, right? And then when we go ahead and see, right, the look in Sasha's eyes, she is so fierce. She is so freaking just like dead
she is
set,
so zoned in. She knows what her duty is, and she knows what her strengths are, and she's confident in
damn well that she went over and she noticed this elite aiming at Connie, and she's like, oh hell no, you're not taking out this dude, not my freaking Taekwondo duo
not
partner.
My duo.
And then she just,
not my Connie.
Boom, kills that elite drops to their death, and that freaking image of Sasha is just, again, oh man, it's just I love it. Yeah. Obviously Connie was so relieved to go ahead and see that freaking, Sasha is there just kind of doing her thing, right? I mean, Sasha, we've talked about it, she is a great support character, and it's too bad that obviously, she's no longer with the scouts where we're at in the story, because
unfortunately
fucking Gabi had to go ahead.
I know.
Be
Gabi.
Yeah.
Also, I wanna mention. I don't know if you noticed because obviously you were reading the script. There's a point in the podcast where we got pretty choppy and it looked like it was pretty bad connection. So I just want to ask everyone in chat, how is it looking for you guys now? It looks like we cleared up. Hopefully everything's good for you now. See, Heise is still in. Okay, good to know that we're still good. Hopefully the audio and video matches.
While we were talking about the story?
Yeah, while we were talking about the story, it was like it just like stopped and it was like
buffering.
It was like 240p. Like it was like pretty bad.
Oh. Kyron's giving
Kyron's saying we're good. All right. I just wanted to make sure that we're all good because while we were reading, it was pretty bad.
Well, that's just great, huh?
Yeah. So hopefully all the audio and visual matches because we've had a problem with that before. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh crap! I need to turn off my Wi-Fi. Like I need to.
You didn't turn off the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I forgot to turn off my Wi-Fi before this. Because normally I always have it off, but since I'm dog/house sitting, I've had it on.
Very cool.
Yeah, Asian Freak says we're all good. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But yeah, Sasha is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Like we mentioned before, talking about like who would be a good mentor. Sasha has those killer hunter instincts, and she's got the knowledge and the experience to really show that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, shoot, like I mentioned, Sasha as a potential mentor that I would go ahead and want to just
I feel like she's a very like detail oriented person, like the differentiation and like the footstep. Because to be a good hunter, you have to really take in the details.
Yeah,
and that's something I really find impressive about Sasha.
I know I would have to fight for scraps in terms of food, but I mean, I think that she'd be an amazing mentor.
That's a little something. That's
here's
something
the thing,
else. But you would always have good meals. You know that if she was like a mentor, she would always be like, yeah, we're gonna have the finest food. We're never gonna forget lunchtime, and yeah.
But am I gonna be able to eat though?
I mean, for all we know, that could be her punishment. Her punishment could be like, you don't get dinner.
You don't get dinner, but guess what? You get to watch me eat.
I know. You get to watch me. Yeah, and then are you going to finish that? Are you going to...
Screw it, I don't care.
Are you going to finish that?
I would be the Moblet to Sasha.
Yeah.
I would be her Moblet.
That would work. That would work out.
But man, I mean, yeah, Sasha, that's an incredible moment. But man, so let's kind of just, from the beginning here, talk about, again, the strategy that they have. It's very amazing strategy. We know that, obviously... having the minds of Hanji and having the minds of Levi and having the minds of Armin all trying to come up with a very thorough and a plan, a strategy that's going to really play into their strengths, right? And play into the elite's weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
Just to be able to have the knowledge of how the elites, right, and how their gear works, right, is incredible because we know that the experience that they have obviously is when the elites were going after them, right? And then so for them to go ahead and really kind of recall and assess and realize that, you know what, this is where their most like liable or whatever, right, the liabilities or whatever, stuff, and it's just, again, when you have characters like that, I mean, as I mentioned, Hanji's brilliant, you know. Armin, of course, he's very intelligent, especially when it comes to strategies that, you know, going into it, that you're at least going to go ahead and kind of set yourself up for potential success, right? Just about execution, right? And then when you have somebody like Levi, somebody like Mikasa, who we see they are the first ones to emerge from the smoke, right? We know that in terms of execution that they're going to make sure that they do whatever they can to get the job done, right? And so we see them, and of course they're flying, right? They emerge from the smoke. The elites see them. They're moving so fast that they can't really go ahead and react, and they see them flying past them. They're like, wait, what's
going on?
And then we see that they are now filling the air with the signal flare, right? The signal flares that scouts so often use whenever they're out doing excursions. Yeah, green means, hey, you know what? I'm going to kill your ass right now. Right? Okay, no, I can't remember. I can't remember.
Advance.
Yeah, okay, there we go. What does blue mean? Okay.
Blue means abnormal?
I have no idea.
Blue means, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
I don't want to go ahead and do this. I don't want to take this pop quiz right now.
Yeah.
All I know is that they're zooming, they're past the elites, and they are now filling the air with the signal flare smoke, right? And of course, you know, all the other characters at the entrance, they emerge,
unleashing those barrels of oil and Of course, you have sharpshooter Sasha being the one to ignite them with the fire arrow.
Yeah, and man, you know, we see now the elites. I mean, they're immediately in like defense mode, right? Mm-hmm. because you would think that they think that they have the advantage.
Yeah.
Right?
Like there's 36 of us. There's
Asian Freak says blue means retreat.
Okay.
Interesting. Dude, you totally looked that up, man.
I know.
You totally looked that up.
Yeah, you did not have that knowledge. You totally searched that up.
Yeah.
Gosh, you cheater.
But yeah, so we see now that each character they have their role, they're executing it right, and then we get an idea of how many threats there are, right? Like you mentioned, there's how many?
36.
There's 36 of them, right?
Versus 7.
Soon to be 37.
He says Armin told me.
Armin told, yeah, and then
Armin
Kyra says he definitely Googled.
And no faith.
But man, yeah, and then
36 versus 7, and that counting one of them is Kenny the Ripper.
Is Kenny accounted for? I don't think Kenny's accounted for yet. Because Kenny shows up in the picture.
For the 36, yeah. Because there's 35 elites.
Oh, okay. So it's 35. Okay, I thought that you were talking about the 36 that...
No, there's 35 elites, and then the 36th is... the 36th is Kenny.
Yeah.
And then versus 7. Given 2 of those 7 are Ackermans.
Mm-hmm.
So... And one of them is Armin Arlet.
Yeah.
And another one is Hanji.
But,
so, yeah. Playing field is a little... uneven, but scouts make up for it in knowledge.
And so now we see that after Levi counts, right, all the threats here, right, and he alerts his scouts. Now it's game on, right? It's game on, and I do want to mention too, in terms of like the look that Sasha gave, right? I mean, there's a scarier look, and it's kind of what Heise is mentioning here, where it's like the moment when Sasha just took that meat, right?
Yeah.
That weird demonic like moments and stuff, right? Which turns to this absolutely freaking just like...
I think the scene that Heise is talking about is when they're on top of the wall and she stole me.
Gotcha.
And everyone was like, dude,
but then
like, what are you doing?
So another moment...
But then the scene that we all often reference is when she is just finished running from dawn until dusk as her punishment for eating a potato and giving half.
Yeah. Those are very,
and then finally, you know, the very nice Krista comes to give her some bread, and then never explained why, but Sasha just turns into this like demon that like goes on all fours, eyes glowing red, and takes it.
Yeah, that is the most demonic moment that we've seen from Sasha. But this is also another cool moment where we've seen Sasha is like legit, like she's pissed off. Do not mess with my friends and all that stuff. And
a lot of loyalty and trust there.
Yeah.
And I mean, shoot, if I was having anyone watch my back with long range weaponry, I would definitely trust Sasha. Like she sees things that other people don't see. She notices things. Again, she has such great awareness and great instincts that I would fully trust her. Especially if I was the other half of the Taekwon duo, I know she's got my back.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So now we see the elites. I mean, they're now just they're becoming very vulnerable to the scouts' strategy here. SB says, "Good night, guys. Sorry, I'm heading out. I'm gonna have to be up in 6 hours for work." Oh, well, thank you so much again for joining us, SB. We love it whenever you join us in chat. Really good night to you as well. We hope that you had a great weekend and have a good work week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I hope work goes by quick for you tomorrow. Unless you really, really like your job. I hope it's a lot of fun. But yeah, good night, SB. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all your input. Hope to see you next week.
Oh, love you too, SB.
Love you too, SB.
Okay, so now, so the elites don't know what they're in for right now. They think that they have the advantage waiting over on the scouts to enter into their home turf, right, essentially. No, that's not the case. We got 35 currently, right, enemies, and then... 35. And now they're trying to go ahead and go after them. But, I mean, we see that now Hanji leads the way, right? She leads Connie. She leads Jean, right? And now they're going to go ahead and take out some elites, right? So like you mentioned, the first moment we see, of course, is with Jean, right? Jean goes, he takes care of business. We see redemption there. He doesn't hesitate. Awesome, right? Next, we talked about with Connie is that Connie goes and he takes out one of the elites, right? Unfortunately, there is another elite there that is able to go ahead and pinpoint Connie as a target, but Sasha saves him. Another great moment, you know, beautiful moment.
Yes, chef's beautiful.
And of course, we don't want to lose Connie.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if we're gonna lose a character in this moment, I mean, I'm sorry, Jean, but hey, you know what?
Out of all the characters, you would pick Jean.
Like real talk, you know, if I were to lose any of these characters in this moment, you know, like okay.
In this moment, at this point of the story, yeah.
But anyway, so now Sasha, she saves John. I mean, she saves Connie, right? I'm sure she would have saved John too.
Yeah. But Jean got redemption.
Yeah, John got redemption, right? So now where do we go next? I think we go to Mikasa, right?
Yeah, Mikasa being absolutely.
Is it Mikasa or is it Hanji?
Next after Connie is it's Hanji.
It's Hanji, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Heisi says if we lost Eren in the world, right?
Yeah.
If we lost Eren, the world would be depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too,
or would it be saved?
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, you could think about it that way, right? But I mean, if the characters, like, say, if they're too late and they realize that Eren got eaten, right? Then, man,
Like,
these characters, who knows what?
All this for what?
Yeah.
Who knows what Mikasa would do?
Yeah. You know,
She'd go on a killing
just
spree
blind
and
rage,
then-
yeah, for sure.
and
You
then
know.
it would eventually lead to her death, and she wouldn't care. Because I mean, we saw in season 1 when we all thought that Eren was dead, she was like went full like disregard for her life.
Yeah.
Lost her fight.
I mean, for all we know, maybe she goes and she somehow comes across a second injection, goes and injects herself, eats Historia, and so now she will forever have Eren.
So we'll have
inside of her
Eren's
now.
memory. She will feel what he felt for her, which was friend vibes.
Yeah, friend zoned.
Yeah, which was friend zoned. She can feel it on another level.
Yeah. But all right, let's talk about this Hanji moment because we see Hanji. I mean, she's doing her thing. She's like very, very calmly, and she's very, very strategically like shrouding herself over inside the smoke and whatnot, causing the elites who notice her to go ahead and miss, right? And then she, of course, counters by emerging from the smoke and freaking stabbing one of the dudes literally in the gut, right? And then we get, of course, that foreshadowing moment that Kyron had mentioned a couple weeks ago, where it's like, boom, blood splatter over in the eyes. It's a gloss moment where it's like, man, we just right over the head.
Yeah, obviously, we would have no idea
until you go back and you rewatch it, of course, and then you realize all the foreshadowing moments. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of foreshadowing moments.
Yeah, there's so many that probably we've looked over in all a bunch of past episodes.
Yeah,
like there's such like fine details.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But we see Hanji, she's doing her thing, of course, and then of course now these elites, they go ahead and they notice that there's one specific scout that is just literally
damn, she's fast.
So fast, right? And that's Mikasa. I mean, we see that she is gliding.
She has such agility.
Yeah, and
like,
then she's able to avoid every single just
shot that's
directed her, yeah. And then she's able to just very kind of just like Kyron says he lost the stream. Oh, that's not good.
Just the visual or visual and audio? Or, I mean, I guess if he lost audio, he wouldn't be able to hear us asking this right now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody else is still good.
Yeah, let us know.
Everything's kind of okay over on our side right now.
Guys are, everything looks fine on our side. Let us know if something's wrong on your side. Stream disconnected from Kyron. How about everyone else? How's everyone else doing? Sorry about that, Kyron.
I'm blaming Toffee.
Yeah, Toffee definitely... she's disconnecting cables somewhere else.
Yeah. But all right. So we're just gonna kind of continue.
Yeah. Hopefully we come back.
Kyron says thumbs up. Good.
Kyron's back.
Kyron's back.
We're
awesome.
Good. We're good.
We're almost done here, guys.
But yeah, getting back to how awesome Mikasa is.
But yeah, Mikasa. I mean, again, she's
so
just
agile.
Evading. She is again just looking so graceful doing it and everything, right? I mean, she's a top freaking scout, right? That's why she was the one alongside Levi to emerge from the smoke first, right? And she's circling and countering, and she's just taking out these elites, and we see that she goes and she counters one of the elites by having this dude literally kind of like next to one of the pillars.
Yeah.
She pins this dude against the pillars by like literally just like stomping this dude out.
And his head, and then the pillar.
Yeah. So
cannot feel good.
So this guy becomes a pillar boot sandwich, which is awesome.
Hey, but I'm sure a lot of people are jealous of that guy getting stepped on by Mikasa. I know a lot of people out there would love to be on his end.
Yeah, the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
But then,
again, not surprising that Mikasa is doing such a freaking badass job.
Yeah. I mean, again, we talked about just the strategy, boom, check, right? Execution, check, right? And then it's just, you have like all the characters have their own specific roles and stuff, right? We see that Armin and we see that,
all very
that
trusting of each
Sasha,
other.
they're still over at the entrance. they're providing support, and they're all just executing their strategy. And then let's not even forget, I mean, we don't see him necessarily in this moment in this scene, but Moblid is there as well, and Moblid is also providing support. He's there at the entranceway too. He's I think he's also continuously sending a signal flare, just to continue to go ahead and make it difficult for the elites to see. Heist says, "I'd rather be stepped on by the Food Queen." Okay. But then now at this point, we go ahead and we see that the person in charge in this moment, Kaven, who is probably the second in command, right, to Kenny. We haven't seen anybody else who would be second in command. So Kaven, I mean, another character we kind of see very little of, right? Who we don't know what her potential is, but we see that she obviously is outnumbered. She's
recognizing that this does not look good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, she's looking at her allies all getting slaughtered, right? She's realizing that, as we talked about, man, you know what? They're essentially helpless, because in moments like this, right, when you can't see, you can't aim, on all that they have the advantage with their swords, with their blades, right? And there's nothing she can do. And we see that she's losing that confidence. She's losing, just that composure, to the point where now she's starting to really become,
you could see a little bit of panic,
like fearful, panic, and so then we go to, of course, Levi, and of course this, as I mentioned with the scene, and I talk about this eerie shot of Levi, right? We see this look where Levi himself, as we see him in this specific scene, he's just almost like it's the shadow, the silhouette of him, right, flying through the smoke, but all you see is his piercing red eyes, right? And that's
terrifying.
Frightening, because can you imagine being one of these elites and that is the last thing that you see?
I would hate to be on the rooster, because that actually is the last thing that you would see. Like, that's you literally are looking at the face of death. You
see this freaking short little demon flying at you and getting ready to go and slaughter you, and again,
knowing, damn, he really about to rock my shit.
And then the way that he goes and he kills these elites, right? It's, again, like I mentioned here, with just absolute no remorse at all. We know that when it comes to just something that Levi mentioned to Jean, right, and to Armin about like what's wrong and what's right, morals, right? And he doesn't know what's the right thing, what's the wrong thing to do anymore, because his morals are essentially shot to hell. He's done so many things in his life that he doesn't even know what's the right thing to do anymore, right? And that's something that was difficult for these characters, Jean and Armin, and even the other characters that we have, the Levi squad, where having your enemy now change from being Titans to people. It's like, wait, so we have to literally go ahead and kill other people, but now they realize that these people are trying to kill them, so hey, we have to go and take them out, right? Which is cool to see now. The Levi squad, they're not hesitating, right? And Levi himself sure as hell isn't hesitating, because again, just the way he goes and he's just slicing through these elites is just, man, it's like they're nothing at all to him. There's no even little bit of like moment of
there's no moment to think like, oh, if I do that, let me move out of the way, let me you don't have a moment to really battle back. It's just, well, accept your fate, except for when Levi zeroes in on Kaven. Then Levi actually gets interrupted. And do you think that Kenny purposely was like, they're all dying? Do you think he purposely waited until like, oh crap, Kaven's gonna get killed? Maybe I should step in now.
That's a good point. I mean, we don't know exactly the moment when Kenny arrives.
We just know
when
that
we see him.
We saw him go after Levi, obviously, first.
Before this, we see he's kind of just taking a sweet time. And he's just taking a stroll through the underground, chapel. He's kind of smirking to himself. He took a trip down memory lane as we kind of just, we dove into his past a little bit, right? The Ackerman clan and everything and stuff, right? What makes the Ackermans so special, right? And what makes them, essentially shunned from society, right? And who knows the moment when Kenny actually arrived in this battle. I mean, for all we know, maybe he could have been just chilling in the smoke, just kind of like admiring maybe Levi's work, because we see that Kenny does kind of have a little bit of a proud papa moment when he sees, this little runt of of a character, you know, just
You're like,
doing
dang,
things that
you're doing pretty good
you're
for
sure,
yourself.
we're sure probably Kenny taught him.
Yeah.
You know? And we know that Kenny, I mean, he taught Levi how to survive. And I mean, man, he's doing that. He's doing it in this moment for sure. He's making sure that his team survives, right?
Yeah.
And
But do you think Kenny's soft enough to be like, dang, I don't want Caven to die. Like, let me just save Caven.
I don't know. I think that for Kenny,
Or
at
is
least,
it more of like a dang, I could really use Caven in the future. There's not really a whole lot of like valuable soldiers like her. I guess I'll say.
yeah, I mean, and also too, I mean, we never know. Kenny might think of Caven as easy on the eyes, and you know,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah,
hey, you
you're
know
like,
what? Hey,
aw.
you know, I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm
save
gonna have
her,
anyone
butter
by
up
my
a little
side to
bit,
stare
stuff,
at.
and maybe, you know, hey, a little
Come on now,
romance,
Levi,
a little
not her.
romance in the works, you know,
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Even though Caven's like probably like half as young as him.
You don't think Caven would? With Kenny the Ripper, this legend?
No, I don't think Caven.
Really?
I think she cares too much. She seems like she
doesn't want to have little Kennys running around?
No, she doesn't really seem too into him with the way that she talks. She seems so over him, where it's like, I just want to get
Come
this
on.
objective done.
No love for Kenny. You know what? Kenny
All right.
shouldn't have saved her then.
Oh my gosh.
No. As it says, the AOT world would have a hard time if Mikasa and Levi teamed up against anyone. Maybe Eren could hold him off the longest in Attack on Titan. Oh man, can you imagine a battle of like the Ackermans versus Eren?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ackerman versus Eren.
You would have the
So it would
Ackermans.
theoretically be Levi, Mikasa, Kenny.
Yeah, against Eren and the Aegis.
Yeah. That'd be so good.
Legit.
I think it would be really interesting seeing Kenny work alongside Levi, like seeing them work together.
Yeah.
And
they would constantly be clashing heads, you know,
There
no doubt
would be
and stuff.
that reminiscence of like, oh yeah, we used to do this back in the day.
I guess.
Do it
yeah.
again, and then Mikasa's just there like, y'all are
Cameron
weird.
says the Ackermans would win.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what? I think the Ackermans
think
would
they
go ahead and obviously slaughter the Jaegerists, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Flock would be the most pesky one to go ahead and take care of because Flock himself is very crafty, right? I mean, and Flock too. I mean, we know that he's gonna
Dude
do.
is like a cockroach you cannot kill.
Yeah, I mean,
It's bug that just
Flock will do
survives.
the difficult things, you know, but yeah, he would be pesky. But I think that Eren would kind of like boss battle it. You know, he'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, you know what, you took out the
Me and
Aegis,
you,
and guess
man,
what?
me and
you
you.
fought me as an Attack Titan. Now you got to fight me as this version of myself. You know, and next thing you know, he transforms, blah blah whatever. Or maybe we see him using the Warhammer abilities and stuff. I mean, I don't know. That'd be tough. Heise says Flock would do the same scene where he's taking on everyone, and that was badass. Yeah, I mean, as much as we talk about Flock and the dislike for Flock, you know, Heise, since you've joined us here in chat and in this podcast, man, you really have shed a new light on Flock, no doubt. And you just realize again with Flock and whatever his kind of motives are, whatever his passions are, man, he's gonna go ahead and be passionate about it to the fullest, you know. And whether it's right or wrong, man, this guy's gonna go ahead and fight for what he believes in. Cameron says, not for me, I still hate him.
Yeah, I still hate him. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, that'd be interesting to go ahead and see that battle kind of play out. But yeah, I mean, here, like you said, who knows when Kenny's going to go ahead and show up? Who knows how long he's been there? But you know, Caven sees the man himself, Captain Levi, right? And does she even see? I don't think she even sees him, huh? Because let's go ahead and
No,
revisit
I don't
here.
think she does.
She goes, so Levi zeroes in on Caven, right? He's heading directly for her, but before he can go ahead and strike her down, he catches something in the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I mean, Caven, she's just kind of like realizing and she's assessing
She's
everything,
just-
and
yeah,
she's
like-
saying that, hey, at this rate, they're gonna go ahead and wipe us all out. I don't think she even sees this dude. And then
we have Kenny.
Kenny goes and
doing
he
Kenny
enters. He
things.
enters the scene here.
Enters in his Jeffrey Dean Morgan way.
Yeah, he goes and we see him being very playful, right? As we talked about it, potentially him as a mentor. We know that he's going to be very playful and whatnot and stuff. And he's doing flips.
Yeah.
He's doing flips. He's
Dude
enjoying
is
it.
having the time of his life.
Being
while
very
his
boastful
squad
and
is getting slaughtered.
he's a showman. And now the game has changed. Things aren't going to be as simple as they just were.
Yeah.
Now you have, as Levi warned them, his squad, Kenny is going to be the biggest threat, and now Kenny has entered the mix,
Has entered battle.
and he has his sights set on Levi. As he tells Levi, I don't have time to waste on you, but I can't let you get any further.
Yeah.
So be it. I'll just have to play.
I like how Kenny is just like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Like he like has so much fun with it.
Yeah, and
Meanwhile, Kaven's like, we are getting slaughtered.
yeah. And ever since you mentioned Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I can't help but just kind of picture these lines, right? Like, I don't have time to waste on you, but I can't have you getting any further, right? So be it. I'll just have to play. I just can't help but picture the Jeffrey Dean kind of like, you know, like
in his
charisma,
way.
right? The charisma that he kind of has and stuff. And damn it, Lex, I think now whenever I think of Kenny being potentially fan casted in live action, man, I just can't help but picture Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That is a really, really good casting and damn, yeah.
That's literally Negan.
Yeah.
We'd get to see Negan do flips.
We had to go ahead and stop at this moment because if we went any further, who knows how much longer we'd be talking about him. I just says him swinging Lucille.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Guess I'll just have to play.
I will say though that and that was a very strange character to add, right? Like, so wasn't he added to like Mortal Kombat or something?
Oh, he's in Tekken 7, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like weirdly like hyper realistic. I'm almost positive it's his actual voice actor. Yeah, that he did all the voices. He's a DLC character, so he's not in the story, but he is in like, you can have him as a fighter, and he has Lucille as a weapon, and he has his Negan walk, the way that he stands. His ultimate is the taking it like a champ.
Yeah, taking it like a champ.
Like, that's his ultimate move, and it's pretty cool. He's pretty fun to play as, just because he just has so much fun with the chaos.
Yeah, and you know what?
Same as Kenny.
I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I mean, if you have somebody like that who's going to go ahead and do the voice work for the character Negan, I mean, you have to do it, because if you were to go ahead and have Negan, but it's not the voice of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, it wouldn't be the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it's pretty realistic. It looks pretty good too. They got his face pretty good, and they got his costume and his leather jacket, and it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of a strange DLC, but I mean,
it was interesting because I remember like looking at true, because I remember looking at all the characters, because it's all these like Tekken characters, like, oh, okay, that's cool, oh cool, we got this giant bear, we got this giant panda, that's interesting, and then it's just Negan.
Yeah,
like, oh, all right,
right,
cool, and it's like this like Japanese game and you have Negan. It's like, cool.
but yeah, guys, so that's all we're gonna go ahead and talk about in terms of the story in this episode. If you guys have anything else you want to go ahead and chat about, make sure you go just drop them over in chat. But do we have any other final thoughts, Lex? Is there anything we need to go ahead and touch on?
I do want to give a shout out to someone when we talk about Fandomion.
Okay, very, very cool. But we didn't have anything to go ahead and talk about, right, in terms of the DMs?
No, we had Kyron saying Mommy Mikasa.
Oh, Kyron said Mommy Mikasa. Gotcha.
We have Tina saying that she appreciates our shout out. And that the tattoos are always fun for her.
Yeah, I mean, Tina, she's an incredible person. I mean, she just does incredible work. Mm-hmm. So I'm very, very thankful for Tina. And,
so cool. Again, we follow her on
Karen says, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to out you like that. Sorry. But yeah. Yeah. I'll just wait till we get to Fandomion. Schlex. Sorry. My fault. Sorry, dude.
All right. But yeah, next week we'll go ahead and we'll continue on, and we'll see how Kenny really mixes things up. Mm-hmm. Heisi, I want to thank you both for being so welcoming. Oh man, Heisi, you don't have to thank us, man. We want to thank you for just joining us, man, and then just really just bringing such incredible insight, and just being we like it when we have.
You've been so supportive, like shouting us out on your page and everything, and you don't have to thank us. Everyone's welcome here.
Yeah, no doubt, and
we should be thanking you for joining us. And I know that you are on Eastern Standard Time, so it has to be really freaking late for you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, but Heisi, thank you.
Here. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you, and man, it seems like it's just been like kind of like an incredible fit,
Mm-hmm.
like.
Yeah.
You arrived, and there's been no kind of like weird kind of like easing in. Like you just boom, like you are immediately just like a part of the community, of course, that we've built through this podcast. And I love this community. You know, I love you guys, and you guys know just how much I enjoyed doing these live streams, talking about these episodes, and having you guys join us. And you know, you've been incredible. Everybody who will support this, man, are all just incredible. So thank you. Yeah. You do not need to thank us.
Yeah, thank you.
But thank you so much.
Speaking of DMs, actually, I do want to say that Heise actually did DM us saying that after saying that he'll be there, he'll be at the stream.
Oh, cool.
He said, I told him that he's the best, and he said, thank you. I just I rock with you guys, and you're all cool. And even if I am a Jaegerist, we're all good friends.
I mean, that's the thing is, no matter what kind of walk of life you're in with AOT, I mean, we're all part of the AOT family.
Yeah. This anime has brought us together.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for walking with us. We think that you're cool too, Heise.
Oh yeah,
thank
for
you
sure. We love you, Heise. And shout out to Kyron as well, because Heise was able to join us because of the TikTok as well, right? I believe. Was that why? Because of the TikTok?
I think he found us through TikTok. Yeah.
So shout out.
And thank you, Kyron, our TikTok guru.
Yep.
Spreading the word.
But yeah, guys, if you guys have any other topics you guys want us to go ahead and cover, go ahead and mention now. Forever hold your peace. That's the saying, right?
Yeah, or forever hold your peace. Yeah. Yeah, it was TikTok. Cool.
Very, very cool. But all right, guys. So we're 2 hours in. Wow, so much for a short episode.
Yeah,
huh?
short episode. I know. As soon as I saw everyone joining in, I was like, "This is not going to."
Yeah.
We just love talking to you guys for forever.
Yeah. But now we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode, guys. So that's another episode of Attack Talk. This is season 3. Man, you know, it's crazy how fast we've been talking about these episodes. We're in season 3. I know season 2 was a shorter one, only 12 episodes, right? But we kind of split those into parts. But man, this journey, just talking about these episodes in detail, right? Breaking them down. It's been an incredible journey, and I can't believe that we're already just in season 3. You know. It's I feel like before we know it, we're gonna continue just to be like reminiscing about, like, you know, all the conversations we had. We're gonna be reminiscing about the torture chair. We're gonna be reminiscing about everything, right? We're gonna be over on season 4, you know, and stuff. And yeah, but I mean, it's something that excites me to go ahead and continue looking forward.
24 episodes in season 3.
I think so. Yeah, and we're on episode 7. We just started 7, so I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah. But
thank you guys.
But that's another episode, guys, that we covered. It's part 1. This episode might be broken down into maybe 3 parts, depending on you know, how far we get into part 2 of our episode breakdown discussion of this specific episode, season 3, episode 7. It's funny because the mindset was we're gonna go ahead and shorten this episode because, you know, we understand it's Mother's Day. You know, whoever joins us awesome. You know, but but yeah, it's you know, it's like, well, we don't want to be talking forever over on Mother's Day, you know? Yeah, it's later in Mother's Day. But I mean, we didn't know what everybody had planned and stuff, so it's like we'll cover, you know, just the kind of beginning of the episode. And we did that, and like, it's like, you know, here we are, you know, it's still, you know, the usual time and everything.
Still talking.
But I love it. Heise said, I'll be here next week. Can't wait for my Aaron baseball jersey and Aaron hoodie. Wow, thanks for that code. Hell yeah.
That's what I wanted to shout out. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Heise. Yeah.
Damn, Aaron baseball jersey, Aaron hoodie. That's awesome, man. When they arrive, you got to go ahead and kind of...
if you want to see.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it. Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then, oh yeah, you have the Wings of Freedom on the sleeve too. And then this is the other thing.
What does it say?
It says
attacker be eaten alive. Damn, fierce.
Attacker be eaten alive. The front is a zip up that says Attack on Titan.
Love it.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
If you guys want cool stuff, use code Lex on Fandomion.
Yep.
But you'll hear more about that in a second.
So yeah, guys, this is another episode. Remember, guys, new episodes are streamed live, Twitch, every Sundays. And if anything changes, make sure to follow us on Instagram to get all your updates. Follow us at Attack to Talk Podcast on Instagram. You guys can go ahead and get all of your updates there, as I just mentioned. You guys can go ahead and get all the... you guys could see the Q&As that we give, the poll questions that we go ahead and give. And we love whenever you guys go ahead and... gave us such awesome responses, and we're able to go and talk about the different results on the poll and all that, and just dive into all that, the hypotheticals,
Really
and
do
just
hope
kind of
to see you all next week.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Most likely we'll be streaming at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Likely.
Yeah, we'll make sure we're trying to.
We'll let you guys know.
To go and stream earlier,
Instagram.
just so it's easy for everybody. But again, we'll go ahead and we'll update you guys. And over on Instagram, there's also a link tree that Lexi made so that you guys go ahead and see the many platforms that we're on. So if you guys want to go ahead and follow us on the different platforms, we would appreciate that. No matter how you guys go ahead and watch us, we're just so thankful of you guys, again, just taking the time. So thank you all again.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We also want to give a huge shout out to NatePlaysBad, who is our editor, who goes in and he makes sure that the episodes are all ready to go so that whenever they get published, they're available and they're ready on Fridays.
A cool thumbnail.
Deloading, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Love
you. Deloading. Oh, I wouldn't be.
Yeah. You drop your phone.
Drop my phone. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple episodes.
I was like, I'm doing really good. I haven't dropped my phone.
And then
it just the last 10 minutes of stream, I drop it.
Yeah. But shout out to NatePlaysBad. If you guys want to go ahead and support NatePlaysBad, go and check out his Twitch channel. He streams ever so often, and he has some really, really interesting streams, and you can go ahead and find him at NatePlaysBad, and I believe that is also available in the episode description. So shout out to you, Nate. Thank you so much. So now we want to go and talk about some merch.
Yeah,
right, Lex?
Let's get to it.
So we'll start with, in our link tree, we have a link to one of our friends, that is Collector Sesh, two incredible brothers who, again, are so passionate about anime. They're they're very, very just down to earth guys, and we've had an amazing conversation with them, and we want to shout them out, of course. And if you guys are interested in purchasing anime stuff, anime merch, looking at some stickers, looking at some Funko Pops, anything you guys are potentially interested in. Click that link in the link tree. That is collector_sesh on Instagram. If you guys want to go ahead and support them on Instagram, they're incredible, and we're so thankful to them. You guys can go ahead and click that link for some merch there. Or if you guys are interested, as Heisei had just segued us into the merch here and purchasing that awesome Aaron baseball jersey and that awesome Aaron hoodie. If you guys are looking to go ahead and purchase some awesome Aaron merch like that, I mean, shoot. We have a link here called Fandomion.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you click that link, it'll take you to their online store. As Heisei mentioned, and there's a code that Lexi has available for us to go and use. The promo code that is LEX, right? You get 10% off of your discount. It saves you some money, guys. And yeah, they have so much stuff. They have so much to offer there over at Fandomion. I mean, they have anime stuff. They have alternative stuff. They have Marvel stuff. And for anybody who's seen Guardians, I mean, if anybody interested in Guardian stuff, I'm sure they have a ton of different Guardians merch.
Yeah.
A lot of just different stuff. Anything that's kind of popping these days.
Whenever there's new stuff, I updated you guys last week that they have new Tokyo Ghoul and new AttackOnTitan merch and Chainsaw Man merch. Go check it out, guys. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely worth just checking out. Doing some browsing. And if there's anything you see that you like, if you guys want to go ahead and purchase, then man,
and if you guys do get something, we would love to see what you guys got. Just as Heisei did on Instagram, he posted about it and shouted us out, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see what you guys got.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Deloading said, really getting into those details. Pretty damn nice. It's refreshing my mind on the anime. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So still need to watch Chainsaw Man. Me too. I need to watch Chainsaw Man as well.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's really good. You guys should watch it.
As I've mentioned, for me, it's kind of like I pick and choose. And if I'm picking one specific anime, that's the anime that I'm watching. I can't go ahead and kind of spread out my my anime. I have to just kind of focus on one. But Chainsaw Man is definitely on the watch list.
Is only 13 episodes right now. So, and it's all on Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu.
So
I remember I was going to go ahead and watch it over on the flight. I was going to watch it on the flight, but
and then it wasn't. Yeah.
But actually,
I'm glad that you watched Hunter x Hunter though.
Yeah. Hunter x Hunter. Finished that. Excited to see what's potentially going to happen in the future for Hunter x Hunter.
Same thing for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Just waiting for waiting for that other season to come out.
Deloading, you mentioned an anime that you want to watch.
He said that he was going to star Hajime no Ippo.
Okay.
And I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one. So.
You heard good things about it, or?
I've heard about it before. I don't really remember for sure what it's about, what the context is. I can't really remember, but I've definitely heard of it before.
I think I might have heard it too.
Oh, Deloading says he's taking a short break from One Piece. Did you finish Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah. Nice. Probably gonna watch it with your dad. Nice.
Okay.
It's always nice watching anime with your dad.
You did finish Hunter x Hunter.
I did finish Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. Yeah, so Hunter x Hunter, it was awesome. Of course, and I know that Lexi, I know Kyron, I know that others have kind of like
I've been like,
been
you
upset
need to
with
watch
me
it.
for stopping right before the Chimera and Arc. But yeah, things got really good. I just kind of started just binging because I got so interested and like, man, I just had to keep watching it, and I'm glad I did. Hunter x Hunter is awesome, and you guys were right. There, fine, I said it. Okay?
You guys are right. It's pretty good.
But taking a break from One Piece, I want to ask, deloading, where are you taking a break from?
How far along are you in
what
One
part are you kind of stopping at?
Because this guy,
I'm caught up with the dub. We're over in Wano. Mm-hmm. Hunter x Hunter is amazing. Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, I loved it.
You like Hunter x Hunter? Don't you, Squidward?
Don't you, Squidward?
Yes,
you like Hunter x Hunter,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, and it's all going to my hips.
Yeah,
no doubt.
That's gonna be the same thing with
One
with
Piece,
Chainsaw Man. Whenever you eventually watch Chainsaw Man,
if you consume a lot of One Piece, it definitely goes to your hips.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah. But I mean the whole like, oh yeah, you eventually end up liking it.
Yeah.
Or even like you haven't watched. You for some reason like the second season of Demon Slayer you couldn't really get into.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I mean,
the third season's out though, so I need to get on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should finish the second season. There's a lot of anime out there that's also good. I still need to watch the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. There's so much I need to catch up on. But thankfully, I'm not taking any classes this summer, and I have a desk job. So
there you go.
Maybe that'll be my
That'll be your
my new
time.
hobby. Yeah, that's my anime time. I'll just get paid to watch anime. Gosh, isn't that the dream? From the last time we talked about it, I'd say the same spot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sailing to the new world.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know that for some people, like when they watch One Piece, that obviously it's so early on into like 1999. I want to say is when it was first, the anime first came out, and you're watching, and obviously the art style, it's so much different, right? We see whenever we go back and we watch the early anime and stuff, right? And the art style is kind of like it's older. It can be hard to kind of continue watching, but a lot of people they kind of stop over at the Skypiea arc, because Skypiea is that's kind of a tough watch. It's a long arc, and it's like not the best story. But once you get past that Skypiea arc, man, things just get rolling. And just be careful of deloading, because once you take a break from an anime, sometimes it's tough to go ahead and kind of get back to it. You know, I was speaking from experience. You know, there's been plenty of times with Hunter x Hunter for sure is one of them. You know. Kyron says that this movie called Japan Sinking 2020 is so good, but the animation sucks. But the story is 20 out of 10.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I watched that one. Yeah, Japan Sinks 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've watched that. Yeah, the animation is really similar to it's pretty similar to like Devilman Crybaby, where it's where it's pretty like it looks pretty flat.
Anime that I haven't finished watching.
But yeah, you need to though. But where it's like pretty flat. I think that like different animation styles are pretty unique. Like I really like how artsy it is. Yeah, it's similar to a kid drawing. Yeah, like just like Chainsaw Man. But I think it really makes the anime. I really like it. But yeah, the story was pretty good. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Gosh, I hadn't seen that in.
Have you seen the one that Heisei is referring to? I was just finishing, about to finish Samurai Champloo.
Champloo. Yeah, I've heard about that one. That one's in my list too. Gosh, it looks like I have a bunch of anime to watch.
Hip hop and Samurai Perfect Pair. Yeah.
Lo-fi.
Because for me, even personally, like in terms of like, animes that I've seen, it's not a whole lot. Mm-hmm. You know, I kind of like.
But you've seen all really good ones.
Yeah, it's like the really popular ones, you know.
Yeah, you've seen really popular
that I've seen. And,
the ones that people talk about the most. So you could still, we haven't seen Naruto though.
No,
I've only seen like
sure
the first.
Kyron's probably upset.
I've only gone up to the second season of. I think I hadn't even gotten to Shippuden yet, so I was really early on. Taking a break from One Piece before. It took me 6 months to get back into it, but now here we are in a couple weeks.
No One Piece. Karen says, "Get on it."
Yeah, get on it
with Naruto.
Yeah, I gotta. There's so many. I have a whole anime list that I kind of just gave up on because I kept adding on to it, and there's like 200 anime in that list that I either haven't seen or have watched like the first 6 episodes to and never got back into it.
Yeah.
Like we did that with with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or we did that with
the clown. No, it's all good.
I already know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Already pretty much know what the Naruto story is. It's just I feel like it's more about the journey. You know, I haven't gone through the journey yet. But yeah, we didn't finish JoJo and we didn't finish.
Oh yeah, JoJo another one.
Gosh, what is the other one? I keep wanting to say Darling in the Franxx, but it's not. It's the main character's name is Dazai. It's called. Oh my gosh, it's right there. I know the name of it. It's right there.
Wait, one that we watched?
Mm-hmm. The one that we didn't finish.
Okay, but what characters like what?
The main character's name's Dazai, and he's suicidal. There's that guy that can turn into a tiger.
One with the, it's not the like Stray Dogs or whatever.
Yeah,
or,
Bungo Stray Dogs. That's what it is. Bungo Stray Dogs. That's what it is. Jeez.
I says I love JoJo, but I kind of get bored of it as well.
Yeah, we watched like the first. Well, you kept watching it, didn't you?
Well, I think I watched maybe like a few episodes.
Yeah, because we only got up to like episode 9.
Yeah.
Same thing with I still haven't finished. I'm blanking on every anime name right now.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't finished Cowboy Bebop either. I've only seen like the first like 10 episodes.
See, that's the ones that I went back to go ahead and watch was like the.
Because you watched the live action.
Like the more older
first.
ones, yeah, but yeah.
Same thing with Death Note.
Yeah,
you watched the live action Death Note first, and then it was like, oh, like for the movie itself, like, oh, you know, it's fine if it's like a standalone, you know. But then
having no knowledge of the anime, you're like,
then
this is interesting.
Yeah, then you watch the anime and you're like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece. The movie is trash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I've gone back to watch Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is great. There's other ones as well, like Yu Yu Hakusho was another OG one that I went back to watch. Obviously, like Inuyasha.
I've only seen the first like 30 episodes.
Yeah. There's some great ones.
Yeah. Did we already shout out Art?
No, I haven't. No.
We haven't gone on to Art yet.
No, but did you shout out the Fandomion one that you wanted to do?
Yeah, that was Jacob or Heise's.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's talk about some art. Since we're done talking about all the different animes that we haven't watched.
I know.
She's like, it's getting late. Let's keep let's wrap this up.
I just realized what time it was. I was like, hey, yeah, we're going on for 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. For sure, right? But yeah, let's talk about some art. And of course, starting off, we have to mention our friend Caesar, who is super talented. And shoot, man, just follow his Instagram, and you're going to see all the many different incredible art pieces that he makes. I mean, you can follow him over at ArtofCesar. That's art_of_Caesar_. And yeah, huge shout out to Caesar. He's a friend of the show. We appreciate him. I have a lot of his art over here in this room, and he's incredible. And you can go ahead and check out his art on Instagram. And also, if you want to purchase his art, there's a link in Linktree that will send you to his Etsy store where he has different pieces of art that he's selling. So go ahead and check out his art if you're interested in purchasing it. Go ahead and support him. Really great art style. He's an awesome dude. And then another friend that we have, of course, friend of the show, we have Eddie, who has met Caesar on multiple occasions. And that really cool picture of them exchanging art was awesome. I love to see it.
We've seen each other a couple times at some art walks.
Art walks, yeah. But Eddie himself is also another very creative person. He makes art. He makes content. You can go ahead and see his art over at his Instagram at ArtDeJuan. That's Art D-E Juan D ArtDeJuan. And yeah, go ahead and support him, guys. I mean, he's super talented. He also makes content over on YouTube as well. Friend of the show, of course, Eddie. And yeah. I keep reposting Juan's Aaron picture. I love it. That's awesome, man. I love it. That's super cool.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, he did recently draw Aaron, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So go ahead and check out Eddie's stuff. And of course, we have a friend of the show. We have Kyron as well, who does photography. You can go ahead and check out his photography over at his Instagram at Portraits by KA. Shout out to Kyron. Also, you guys can go ahead and see the awesome content that Kyron is posting out over on TikTok, the official Attack to Talk TikTok at Attack the Talk podcast, right? Yeah, go check out because Kyron is he's the man. He stepped up and he's helping us out a lot, and we appreciate you, Kyron, for taking the TikTok away from Lex, because we know the Lex had dust really covering that TikTok for a long time.
Yeah, I really was not touching it.
And if it wasn't for Kyron doing his thing over on TikTok, we wouldn't have friend of the show Kyron here. I mean, friend of the show Heise joining us, and again, it's just it's awesome. We appreciate it, and
connecting to new Attack on Titan lovers.
Yeah. And as we mentioned at the start of the podcast, Kyron, we would love to go ahead and talk with you further about this awesome opportunity that you mentioned to us last week. So maybe we can go ahead and kind of talk to you over in on Instagram and see if we can schedule some sort of meeting or whatnot, and like through Zoom or whatnot, or some sort of kind of video chat.
We'll be in touch.
It'd be awesome to go ahead and talk to you and see you and hear from you, hear your words come out of your mouth, and actually hear you.
Yeah, and
we'd love to go ahead and
we don't get to hear you,
and then just experience that, man, and but that way we can go ahead and kind of talk about this potential opportunity again going further. But thank you again, Kyron, for all of the work that you do, man. We appreciate all of you that spread the word, and you guys know the more friends we get here, the better, because it's cool to be able to go ahead, like with this episode, just have a chat and just kind of talk all together, and then just whatever the topic is about, whether it's just talking about different anime that we're currently watching, talk about different characters that we like, talking about just whatever it is the Q&A or the poll is kind of like focusing on. I mean, I love just diving into that, and again, we've talked about it before many times, just finding out your guys' point of views. It's incredible. And we love just learning new things about Attack on Titan. We love kind of just diving into your guys' mindset on why you guys like certain things about Attack on Titan. And again, it just puts a whole new perspective for us. And it's
awesome. Every podcast. We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. We don't say it just to say it. Like, we truly do mean it, guys. And I hope that you guys understand that and know that by now, because we literally do this at the end of every episode. We guys thank you. We shout you guys out
forever about how appreciative we are, and just like we can't share enough love to let you guys know like how we feel towards you guys. Like, it's just like words can't really describe like how thankful we are. Because
the thing is, we want to make sure that we share the love to you guys, because we're so thankful again for the support that you give us and the love that you give us, and that's just what it's about here, guys, is that for us, you guys are supporting us, and we want to of course support you guys on what it is that you guys are passionate about in terms of like creative and what you guys are coming up with. We want to go ahead and shout you guys out, of course. We want to go spread that word, and it's just all love here, guys. And that's like what I love so much about this podcast, is that you could just tell, as we talk about this podcast, we talk about the, just the different stuff in these different episodes, right? The different conversations we go ahead and we talk about together, that it's just all love, and you guys are awesome. I'm going to say it, and I'll probably say it again many times.
Yeah, you're going to. This is definitely not the last time you guys hear this.
Yeah, I mean, we do. We love you guys so much. But yeah, and then also too, another talented artist that we have who was joining us in this episode. I know that he was getting sick to his stomach. But we're so happy that you were able to join us, Marco, because we have missed you. It was cool to go ahead and have our friends join us. We had Marco, we had Deloading, we had SB. If I'm missing anybody else, I apologize. But for our friends to go ahead and join us and stuff that we've missed, over the last couple episodes, man, just we've missed you guys, and we're so happy whenever you guys join us. And we want to go, of course, shout you out, Marco, because Marco is another incredible artist, because Marco has his Instagram, right? Marco Momone.
Yep.
Right?
And the first O is a 0.
Yeah, the first O is a 0. If you guys want to go ahead and see the art that Marco creates, go ahead and check it out over on Instagram, and go ahead and support him as well. Shout out to Marco. I mean, we're still waiting on the rest of our Beast Titans, but okay. That's like an old take, right? Our Beast Titans and stuff being our spiritual animals and all that.
Yeah, our spirit animals, and Ooh.
So, I mean, you were, what was your spirit animal again? Bat. So, bat, dolphin, and then Zach was
an eagle.
An eagle, yeah. So shout out. Awesome. Heise is going to check out Marco's work.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Go check it out.
He has a whole highlight on his Instagram showing all of his amazing work.
Yeah, and a lot of it,
all of it's anime related.
What is the specific kind of anime that he focuses on?
It used to be JoJo, but now it's a lot of like Berserk art.
Berserk, yeah. So if you guys are interested in any of that,
his favorite animes. So
go check it out.
That.
And then, if we're missing any shout outs, make sure you guys let us know. I mean, shoot, if any of you guys are trying to go ahead and come up with anything creative, just let us know and we'll shout you guys out. We want to go and support you guys. And we love when, you guys, anybody that's kind of creative and wants to try to pursue whatever it is that they're creative about and try to, come up with whatever it is, whether it's art, whether it's just content, whatever it is. I mean, this is kind of our little form of art here, this podcast, and it wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for you guys. So just thank you so much. And of course, as we mentioned, that because you guys support us, we want to of course support you guys. So shout out to all you guys for sure. But yeah, so shout out to all of our creative and artistic friends. Now we're gonna finally go ahead and get into a close. We're already approaching 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But of course, guys, remember to look out for future Q&As and future poll questions over on Instagram at Attack to Talk Podcast. Your feedback, guys, is again just so appreciated. It's so needed, and you guys are awesome. You guys are so freaking smart, and we love. It's something that we really look forward to doing is starting the podcast off by just seeing what the responses and the results are in the Q&A and
you guys
and the
are
poll.
always amazing.
So just look out for future Q&As and for future poll questions. Shout out to the loyal listeners. You guys know the ones that listen every week and who again just take the time out of your guys' days. Whether you're joining us live, whether you're watching at a later time when the episodes are published on Fridays, whatever it is. We appreciate you guys so much for just supporting us. It means the world to us. We've mentioned plenty of times before that this is Attack the Talk podcast, guys. And while you see us here live streaming, the podcast is not just me and Lexi. The podcast is so much. The podcast is you guys. You guys are joining us here live. You guys obviously are friends of the show. You guys are our reoccurring friends, and you guys are all just a part of Attack the Talk. And man, it's just again, this is just an awesome community. So that's pretty much all we got, guys. Shout out to the Attack to Talk Levi squad. You guys are awesome. And all I got to say now for me, guys, is just to the AOT fam, to you guys, just stay safe. Spread that positivity in this world that has so much negativity in it. Just do your part, guys. You just, again, just be... just kind, caring Fridas in this world. You know? While the world is trying to bring all those Fridas down, just try to rise above it, guys. No, in all seriousness, though.
Don't let the Rod Rice get you down.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let the Rod Rices of the world get you down. There's a lot of them out there, but
the man.
But man, just try to stay positive and just spread that love and positivity. So again, guys, this is AJ. I just want to say that I love you guys, and I hope to see you all join us again next week. That's all I got for you. Don't let the definitely I see but that's all I got, guys. This is AJ signing off. Love you guys. All right, Lexi, go ahead and let's get us out of here.
Hope to see you guys next week. Have a safe week, and Attack the Talk loves you.
All right, bye guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.